Hey there, Knicks fans. You hear us talking about fair play, earning fan cash on your bets, even sweepstakes to win more fan cash. But now it's time to talk squad bets with FANATICS Sportsbook. Squad bets is the smartest way to parlay, so one underperforming leg doesn't bust your bet. Build a custom squad bet by combining player stats into one bet. Pick points, rebounds, assists, or threes and set your target. With squad bets, your bet stays alive till the very end, because when one player slips, another could step up. One player cannot bust your parlay. Track it live, cash out whenever you want. It's squad bets only on FANATICS Sportsbook. Parlays hit different here. Hey there, Knicks fans. How you doing? It is your boy, Jonathan Macri, with you for another edition of the Knicks Film School Postgame Show presented by FANATICS Sportsbook. I was just looking up here. Shout out to landofbasketball.com, which I trust the accuracy of this nice website here, about how many times in the Knicks history in their franchise they have won 9 regular season games in a row. And I see here that they did not win 9 regular season games in a row at any point in time, again, if this is to be believed, from 1994 to 2013, which means they went almost 20 years, 20 regular seasons, not winning 9 straight regular season games. And now I am sitting here about to talk to you about a team that has won 9 consecutive playoff games. What a time to be alive. What a time to be a Knicks fan. You're damn right. I'm cracking open a beer after that one. Man, what a win. Really, what a win. This is going to be one of those wins. Look, it doesn't have quite the amount of exuberance as last night, because last night was a win for all time. Last night was truly a generational win, the sort of win that you will tell your kids and your grandkids about someday, if they did not witness it themselves. This is going to be one of those wins where you're going to look back years from now. Hopefully we look back fondly years from now. They still have 2 more wins to go in this series. 2 nights ago. Thank you, Mark. Two nights ago. Thank you for the correction. This is going to be one of those wins. Probably we'll look back years from now, assuming the Knicks could get 2 more wins in this series. And we're going to say, 109-93. Yeah, I guess that was a pretty easy win, right? The Cavs down bad after what happened to them in game 1, and they didn't really have the fire. No, this thing was stressful as all hell for, I would say, the better part of certainly 3 quarters. And I would argue that the stress of tonight went into even the 4th quarter. I'm looking at my notes right now. When the Cavs were, it was absolutely in the 4th quarter. The Cavs were threatening to make a little run. They kept making some pushes early in the 4th quarter. And it was getting a little tense. And then it was down to an 85-78 game. I'm looking at the time right now with 8:59 to go in this game. And OG Anunoby hits what I think is very clearly the shot of the game, a 3-pointer to put them back up 10. And then there were a couple of tense moments after that before the dam broke and the Knicks kind of started to run away with it. But think about that. This was at one point in time a 7-point game with 9 minutes left to go. And as we know, because the Knicks 2 nights ago came back from 22 down with under 8 to go. 7-point game, that's nothing in the NBA. 7 points. I mean, if you have a 7-point lead with a minute left, it's not safe. And we've seen those sorts of things happen in this playoff. So this was absolutely a hard-fought, well-earned victory, and one that featured a lot of interesting storylines. And we're going to go through all of them right now, starting with a gentleman. I'll call him a gentleman. I think he would like to be referred to as a gentleman. Who I am somewhat fond of, and his name is Josh Hart. I think it's funny. I think Cat is probably of all of like the stars that the league has had over the last 10 years. Cat has probably been the one that has engendered the most vociferous conversations with folks across the league, because it doesn't matter if you're a fan of what team you're a fan of. Even before Cat got to the Knicks, you probably had an energetic conversation about Karl-Anthony Towns and what was he and what wasn't he. So it's weird to say this now that Cat is on our team, but I would argue that no player over the last 2 years, in this era of Knick basketball, right, this current like contending core, post Cat trade, post Mikal Bridges trade, I would argue that no player has been as much of a lightning rod as Josh Hart. And the thing that makes him a lightning rod, and the thing that makes him such a fertile ground for good and sometimes not good basketball discussion, is that as much as people like me want to sit up here and say, how dare you ever question Josh Hart, I'm not right. And as much as other people in other camps want to say, well, look at the data, look at the evidence, look at what this could be if you maybe don't lean into this guy who has this clear flaw so much, they're not 100% right. Nobody's 100% right. And that's because Josh Hart, the version of Josh Hart that we get, it's not one version, because there are different versions of Josh Hart. And we saw those different versions. We have seen those different versions play out over the course of this playoffs. And we even saw those different versions play out over the course of this game, when we were getting basically towards the end of the first half tonight. And you were watching him, and you were watching the Cavs defense treat him like he was an usher in the aisle at MSG in terms of how they were defending or not defending him, and watching him, be left open and take threes and miss threes. And you're seeing how clogged the spacing was for Jalen Brunson, and you're seeing the lack of room to move around, and you're seeing the Knicks, offense. It's like getting baskets is like trying to get water from a rock. And you're like, guys, you just did this last night. You went 5 out. You outscored the other team 44-8 with that lineup. Maybe go to it. And it's not that it's hate on Josh Hart. It's about what is the alternative option that you could have, which then puts the onus on, all right, well, why? Why do we stick with this player for so long? Why do we put ourselves, as the Knicks, as Knicks fans, put ourselves through this? And then you get to the second half, and you're reminded of why you go through the ups and downs and the maybe occasional crises of confidence with Josh Hart. Because he is a player that could completely turn around a playoff game and completely turn around a playoff series. I could sit here and I could talk about all the threes that he made in the second half of this basketball game. Ends up going 5 for 11. He makes 3 threes in the second half. All of them felt absolutely massive. But I could just as easily sit here and talk about the Josh Hart plays, like the play he made immediately after 2 consecutive threes, part of an 18-0 third quarter run. And then he goes out there and he hustles for a loose ball that leads to an extra possession, because that's a play that only Josh Hart makes. And I could sit here and talk about a play early in the fourth quarter when Cavs, they boxed out correctly. The ball was going, I forget whose hands it was going into. And Josh Hart's like, fuck that. I'm going to get my hands in there. and I'm going to at least try to force something. And you know what? He forces a foul on whatever Cavalier was trying to get a defensive rebound. That's a Josh Hart play. And then you look at so many other opportunities, things that he did in transition tonight, correct passes that he made. The Mikal Bridges, I think it was arguably the dagger three of the game, the one that really, really put the final nail in the coffin to make it 107-91. It's Jalen Brunson driving, drawing the attention, kicking it out to Josh Hart. Josh Hart, zero hesitation, kick to Mikal Bridges. And oh, by the way, what happened on that play? Dennis Schroeder runs out to guard Josh Hart. Because if you hit enough threes, eventually it doesn't matter how much your coach tries to drill it into your head. Do not guard this man. Leave him open. Go guard other people. You will forget it. Because if you see a guy put the ball through the hoop enough from deep, you're going to say, shit, I'm not letting him get another opportunity. And that's the Josh Hart effect. And we saw it play out in real time over the course of this basketball game. And it's just, look, tonight happened. There may be another night. Who knows? May happen 2 nights from now where he's not hitting the threes. And maybe there are a few record scratches where it's going to be the same conversation again. And it's always going to be there, right? It's always going to be there. The only thing that I hope now that he's had, I think probably this is the best conference finals game of his career, because I don't remember any game against Indiana last season coming close to this level of performance that he put forth tonight. These are the games that make me, when people are down on him, particularly down on him, make me want to say, guys, I get it, but just can we give the guy his due? Because he has led to so much winning basketball. And, again, I just recited, they went 20 years without having a 9-game winning streak in the regular season. And this is an organization now that is winning 9 straight playoff games. Josh Hart's an inextricable part of the fabric of this team for both reasons, on the court and off the court. So I think he has to be the first storyline. But I think up and down the roster, you can point to a lot of contributions and a lot of guys that did a lot of things, maybe not in the ways that we expected them to do tonight, but in the ways that led to winning basketball. If I'm just going in order of players that I think deserves the most credit, not far behind Josh Hart has to be Mikal Bridges, because Josh Hart, 26 points on 21 shots. Mikal Bridges, 19 points on 12 shots. Every time the Knicks needed a bucket in this game, it felt like Mikal Bridges was the one there to get them the bucket. And that's to say nothing about what he did on the defensive end of the floor. And he has been, capital B, brilliant on defense, really for the entirety of the playoffs. The offense got going in Game 6 against the Atlanta Hawks. The defense has been there from the opening tip of Game 1 against the Hawks. And he carried that forward, obviously into this game, played 40 minutes along with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, 40 minutes. Again, talk about that this game, the final score is very deceiving. Some very touchy moments in the opening couple of minutes of the fourth quarter. Mike Brown, who I thought, by the way, coached a brilliant, really, really good game. I know there was some misgivings about why aren't you going back to 5 out in the first half. I have a theory as to why he didn't maybe go to it as quick. I think he wanted to give Josh a chance to get himself going, and hey, it worked. But I thought he coached the perfect game. He was like, I'm not fucking around. Brunson, go back in. Brunson, 40 minutes. Bridges, 40 minutes. Those two guys came up huge. And while I'm talking about Bridges, it's as good a time as any to talk about the defense. Cavaliers scored 93 points in this game and scored 44 points in the second half. Knicks defense started the first quarter, certainly, because it felt like the Cavs had a bunch of points midway through the first quarter. And then again, at the very first couple possessions of the third quarter, I thought the starters were really getting gashed. And it's not that they did not have a plan to fix what ailed them in Game 1. I thought they did some things differently. I think one thing you didn't see any of tonight, which I was very thankful for, is any of those like quasi double teams. I mean, me and Benji joked about it 2 nights ago. I keep saying last night, 2 nights ago. I'll just in game one. You didn't see the thing in game one where it was like, oh, it's kind of a double team, but it's not really a double team because you're not really doubling anybody. Like the things that they did tonight on defense, I thought for the most part, they committed to doing the things. Nothing was really half-assed. That being said, I thought the level of intensity and the level of focus and the level, just of connectivity, connection, communication, all of that stuff, I thought, really, you saw it popped off the screen during the 18-0 run in the third quarter. But just generally speaking, in the second half, I thought their defense ratcheted up another level. There was a play in the fourth quarter where I think it was Donovan Mitchell turning the corner with might have been Shamet trailing, might have been Hart trailing. I honestly forget who was trailing. But Cat was the guy that they were targeting on this particular possession because it was I forget who Cat was guarding. It was Mobley or Allen came up to set the screen. And Cat moved his feet brilliantly and completely walled off the Donovan Mitchell drive. And that's just one play that sticks out in my mind. I thought Brunson had a really nice game defensively. I thought it was a really energetic game from him defensively. And credit to the Knicks that the first time I'm mentioning Jalen Brunson and the first time I'm mentioning Karl-Anthony Towns were in a defensive context because you won this game going away and neither of those guys scored 20 points, which it's going to be a theme, I think, tonight. It is a testament to the basketball team on the roster that Leon Rose has built. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns, very good offensive game. I thought him working the Cavs defense, and boy, was he working the Cavs defense at the start of the second quarter. I thought that was very important in what was at that point a nip and tuck game. And I thought he got himself going there. And then I thought the fact that he took some threes, again, 5 threes, same as last night, made 3 of them. It's always better when he makes them. But I thought Cat figured out some things in this game, which is a big thing against this opponent, because the Cavs have had his number often over the last few years. And he has always, even games he has scored well against Cleveland, I think he always kind of looks out of sorts. I think he looked good. I thought Cat, like his process on the offensive end for me was hashtag meaningfully improved from game one. And then Brunson had an off shooting night. All those shots that were going down in the fourth quarter last night, a lot of those same shots he took tonight, and they weren't going down. But as is often the case, when you need Brunson to be Brunson, or I should say, what's the quote? Everyone's better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson. Well,
nailed it.
There you go. See, I got it. He was Jalen Brunson. Ends up finishing with 19 points on 16 points, or 16 shots. Of course, the number that stands out for him the most, and I think Andrew Claudio, this is a career playoff high, 14 assists. I want to say his previous playoff career high in assists was 13 game 4 against the Celtics last year. How close am I? I think I might be on this. I think I might be onto something here. But
looking now, keep monologuing.
I'll keep monologuing. Either way, 14 assists to only 3 turnovers. Jalen Brunson, I thought it was for a guy that was having a really off night shooting. I thought he played a really good game. You don't have to shoot well to play well. The only starter I haven't talked about so far is OG Anunoby, and shame on me because he was solid. Solid, steady defensively. I thought OG was, to me, defensively, OG looked like OG tonight. And yes, that was a career high playoff assist for Brunson. And then on offense, he goes 5 for 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. I mentioned the biggest shot of the game, the OG 3 to put him back up 88-78. He had some very nice drives in this game. There was also a drive in the fourth quarter that was big, right along the baseline. I think, look, the Cavs are putting a lesser defender on OG Anunoby, gambling that he is not fully himself. And I think they're right in terms of assuming that he's not fully himself. And you know how I know he's not fully himself? Because he played 32 minutes on a night when Mikal Bridges played 40 and Jalen Brunson played 40. OG Anunoby, like there were multiple stretches of this game, just like there were multiple stretches of game one. And Andrew, who I'm going to bring up here in a second, because I think I'm covering most of my bases here, had a theory at halftime that maybe OG, it's like we're going to play him 14 minutes in the first half, and then if we would play him however many minutes we need to in the second half. Ends up at 32. So that, if I do some quick math, that's 18 minutes in the second half. So used him more in the second half. But yeah, all five starters played really well. And this was just as a basketball game, this was starters versus starters. Cleveland, very, 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 very little off their bench. The Knicks, not a big bench game from any one player. Like Shamet, obviously, after that great game, went scoreless tonight, but I thought his minutes were good. Defensively, he was very impactful once again. 4 rebounds for Landry Shamet, too. Notable. Jordan Clarkson, only a couple of buckets, but I thought they were important. And they came, at a time when the Cavs were basically letting him be the one to beat them. One was a mid-range shot that he is like automatic for him, and another was a blown possession where Strus was kind of overplaying, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna give me the driving lane? I'll take the driving lane." Deuce, off night from Deuce, even though he was the leading scorer off the bench, only 2 for 9. There was that weird possession where Deuce was like, "I'm calling my number," and then I'm calling my number again. Don't usually say that from Deuce, but look, he may be trying to get himself going. I never mind that. I thought he defended well. So yeah, not a off the charts game from anyone on the bench. Mitch, went to the only 12 minutes, but first half minutes, I thought he looked a little off. I thought he made up for it in the second half. But when you got Bridges and Hart and Cat and OG and Brunson playing like they played tonight, that's enough. I think I covered all the bases. I'm going to have Andrew Claudio come up here and join me.
I mentioned the other day that I had to Google people from Cleveland, and then our entire comment section and the lovely people in the community yelled at me that Bone Thugs and Harmony and Kid Cudi are from Cleveland. So we are starting this pursuit of happiness by by talking about the New York Knicks
How about you?
being 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. Don't worry, when we go up 3-0, we will talk about Cleveland's crossroads, okay? Everybody that DM'd me or emailed me or replied to me, I knew it, but I figured after the greatest win in NBA history, or Knicks history, we would wait to talk about or to play a song that was for Eazy-E dying. Cleveland! What's up, James Harden? You're 11 for 32 in the series. Was waiting for playoff Harden to show up.
For 32.
He was 5 of 16 in game 1. He was 6 for 16 tonight, John.
6 for 15, yeah.
6 for 15. Fine. Excuse me. No, John corrected me. You're 11 for 31 now. Okay? Cleveland. Listen, valiant effort. You went through as many games as possible. Don't worry. We'll give you some quick rest in a few games. The New York Knicks. Never doubt Josh Hart, by the way, John. I'm so sick of you doubting Josh Hart. Mark, do you believe he was doubting Josh Hart?
How dare
all the calls for him to play 20 to 25 minutes. I needed more Josh Hart tonight. Fuck your 5 out. I just need 5 threes from Josh Hart.
Wow.
The New York Knicks, folks. You want some stats for your ass? The Knicks have won 9 straight games. They have a point differential of plus 212 in that stretch, which is the largest in NBA history over. So the plus 212 is the largest in NBA history over a 9-game stretch, over a 9-game winning streak. Their point differential for the postseason is plus here. Kid Cudi, thank you. Their point differential for the first 12 games this postseason is plus 221, which is the largest for a 12-game span in NBA history. And the largest point differential in NBA history, John Macri and Mark, is plus 230 by the 2017 Warriors. So the Knicks are second in NBA history to the 2017 Warriors, who just needed 5 more games.
I went and looked up before we started what's the most playoff games Michael Jordan's Bulls won in a row, and it was over the course of 2 seasons, but it was 9. So we have now tied that, which is pretty cool. You know what the best,
so hold on. Someone else sent me another stat. The New York Knicks, this is from The Athletic. They're the 13th team in NBA history to win 9 straight games in the playoffs. Of the 12 teams that did it before then, 7 won the NBA championship.
13th to win.
Those are good odds. Those are good odds. The last team to do this was the 2017 Warriors, by the way.
Who won
the first 13 of the first 15? The first 15 of the postseason.
Right. You know what the best part of your playing the Kid Cudi thing?
Mm-hmm.
According to Wikipedia, born and raised in Cleveland, then Cudi moved where? To New York City because he's like, I gotta get the fuck out of Cleveland.
Best part of Cleveland, you move. Okay. Mark, I didn't mean to pull you up. My bad.
That's okay, man. That's all good.
Right, so we're all hanging out.
Hey.
What's up, Mark?
Cheers.
How you doing, guys?
Cheers.
Doing great.
Cheers.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm drinking my Stiller soda and Tito's.
Hey!
Oh,
where on Long Island did you find Stiller soda?
I was about to say, I don't know where to look for it.
Your buddy.
I ordered it online.
Oh, good job by you.
Okay. You made that sound like you that was very shady. That like you had to go find it in an alley somewhere off the back of a truck or something.
I would buy
Stiller soda
off the back of a truck.
I would too. I just want to know where Stiller soda is anywhere near me. Shout out Ben Stiller. You are a Knicks fan.
Damn right.
Guys, the Knicks are 2 wins away from the NBA Finals.
They are. What didn't I hit from this game that I should have hit?
That Sam Merrill is a loser.
So, look, we could talk about Cleveland. You mentioned James Harden. I actually think Harden has played, other than the fourth quarter defense in game 1.
And his first quarter defense in this game, but also his second quarter defense in this game. But then there was his third quarter defense in this game. In case you missed it, his fourth quarter defense is also bad in this game.
So the thing that would frustrate me if I was a Cavs fan the most, that fucking game 1. But just Donovan Mitchell has not been bad through 2 games. I thought he was good tonight. It was good. I personally don't think James Harden has been terrible. I'm curious, since you love to hate listen, or no, it's not hate listening. It's whatever you listen, however you listen to the Chase.
I enjoy the Chase Down. They're a very good podcast.
No, I don't mean to imply that you don't, but
it's much more fun to listen to them after a W. I'll tell you that much.
I am curious how they would assess James Harden's performance through 2 games. That's all I want to say. I don't think he has played poorly. I don't think he's played well, but I don't think he's played poorly. Mobley and Allen, I guess there's a world where you want to say Mobley, you got to take more than 8 shots and you got to impact the game more from a scoring perspective in a game like this. It was a soft, 14 points on 8 shots. Allen's been great. He's been great on the boards, Okay. So it's just that who else is showing up for them? Schroeder had 4. Strus was 1 for 7. Sam Merrill, you mentioned 1 for 8. That he tried Tyson tonight. That looked great.
Didn't work either.
They look like a team that's played 16 games in the last 33 days.
Is it just that?
I think that's what it comes down to. They are a team that didn't have a week and a half off, and they're a team that just blew one of the biggest comebacks and biggest collapses in NBA history 2 days ago. We jumped on the watch along tonight, and you asked what my thoughts were going into this game. I know your process that we're not allowed to talk about the game until it's 0-0s, and about the next round until the 4 games are won. I respect that. I have said to many people over the past 2 days since game 1 happened that obviously aren't you because I'm respecting your process, but then I finally said it to you. If the Cavs win this series, and I said it before game 2, if the Cavs win this series, it will be the most impressive series win I have ever seen because they will have survived that game. They will have survived blowing that game and then still winning 4 after it. We experienced it last year. The amount of energy you have to expend to come back and win the next game, it feels like you're trying to win 2 at once, which is why I think you saw some of the exhaustion in that second half, why the Knicks were able to go and run away and build a double-digit lead and never let the lead get that close, and the Anunoby 3 was big. It's just the reality of how this works. If they do it, it's the most impressive thing I've ever seen. I'm just letting you know. I keep saying it to myself because I want it to be as real as possible, and it actually is real. They're 2 wins away from the NBA Finals and in complete control of this series.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way,
Mm-hmm.
we also talked about this on the watch along. The leaving Josh Hart and then ghost coverage on him, that was their big joker, as Sean put it.
Yeah.
Okay? That was their one big play. We're going to put Jared Allen on Josh Hart and not guard him. And it worked a lot in game 1. It was worked in the first quarter tonight.
Yep.
Then Josh Hart decided, you know what? I was a 41% three-point shooter during the season. I don't know if you knew that, John. He was a 41% three-point shooter during the season.
I saw that.
Well, I'm just happy to inform you that he was a 41% three-point shooter during the season. He hits 5 threes. They're out of cards to play.
So I'll be very curious. I think they're going to come out and they're going to do what we talked about on the watch along, which is like we're going to show Brunson bodies. Like, and they showed him bodies tonight, by the way. Like, they did a really good job, I thought, showing him bodies tonight, and that's part of why Brunson had a career high in assists. I think they're going to double down on that strategy. Andrew, I don't, I know you're not like the biggest NBA historian. I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but Pat Riley actually once said that a playoff series doesn't begin until the road team wins a game. So what I will say right now,
I hate it. I hate that phrase more than anything in the NBA.
Mark, I don't know, it's his least favorite.
He quotes that all the time, and it's like, so when the Knicks beat the Sixers in game 3, the series started when they went up 3-0 because it was the first time a road team had won a series. A game in the series. What?
You got 2 games in Cleveland. Just
win
one. Just win one. Ideally, you win game 3. Sure, great, but just win one. You've held serve. You got home court. The people of Cleveland say this for them. They're I'm not gonna say anything mean. They're gonna be fired up, right? They're gonna be fired up. They should be. They just came down.
They're
from
about to
2-0
get
down.
LeBron James back.
Oh, okay. They just came back from 2-0 down against the Pistons, right?
Yes.
They just came back from 2-0 down against the Pistons. Actually took a 3-2 lead in that series. And then we know what happened in game 6. So they're gonna be fired up. It's gonna be a crazy environment. Can this Knicks core finally win 10 games in a row? Can the Leon Rose regime finally win 10 games in a row?
Look, a lot of things will happen with the Knicks' next win. They will officially have gotten further than they did last year. They will officially, if it's Saturday, then like you said, it will be 10 games in a row. The confidence that I have in this team, I was texting our good friend Mr. Schmilk today. Like he was like, let's just win one tonight. And I was like, I'm entirely too confident that they will. Like,
good job by you.
Listen, I'm the one that suggested the Josh Hart in the squad bet, which we will talk about in a second.
Yeah.
I was the one that was like, I'm just sorry. Any other team that we would talk about that's putting up these type of numbers, that's having this type of consecutive game success, we would just be like, oh, that's a juggernaut. Who's going to stop them?
Well,
and because it's the Knicks, we're just like, wait, it's happening to us? Like, wait a minute.
Hold on. At the same time, I think you would agree with me. They did not play well for the first 26 minutes of this basketball game. They played okay for them.
Yeah.
They played fine for them in comparison to what we've been seeing.
From what we've seen, yes.
Yes,
they played fine for them.
Fine for them, right?
Mark, I was texting you, like, John and I spent the whole first quarter arguing about Josh Hart, and then we looked up. People go watch the watch along. That's your plug for the watch along. No Tarzan yells. Unfortunately, John went very viral.
Hold on, I had a couple of moments.
You had a moment where he turned into what's the character from Austin Powers?
Oh, Fat Bastard.
Yeah, he yelled when the Knicks hit a 3 and he went, "Get in my belly."
I actually think I yelled that after the Cavs missed one of their 8,000
Oh, that's what it was. The Cavs missed 10 free throws, and one of the missed free throw, a consecutive free throw was missed, and John yelled,
"Let me tell you,
get in my belly."
Why that was the moment where I was like,
I don't know either, man. Yeah,
bro, the refs tried to do everything they could to get the Cavs back in the game in the beginning of this fourth quarter.
What were the free throw totals? Good job by you, Mark.
The ball does not lie. The
Cavs
ball
32. They shot 32 fucking free throws tonight.
Yeah. The Cavs shot 32 free throws. The Knicks as a team shot 14. 4 of which were by
Knicks
Mitchell
were in the
Robinson.
bonus.
Yeah.
I forget at what point of the fourth they were in the bonus, but the Knicks were in the bonus so early in the fourth.
Why don't the Knicks have a promotion where if the other team misses 2 free throws, the fans get something?
We're too proud for that bullshit. Stop it.
Yeah, but what if it works?
No.
I don't
Well,
see. John hates fun. I forgot. That's
listen.
Yeah, he doesn't. That's not up his
Yeah,
alley.
how fun it would be if we were
I
like.
don't like the t-shirt cannons.
Right.
The
He wants the timeouts to literally be timeout. Like turn the lights off and have everybody put their heads down.
Everybody should reflect quietly on what they've just witnessed. You think I'm kidding? Stat of the game: Knicks 32 assists, Cavs 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have the thing with them is, and this is what's great. And we could go to squad bets after this.
Yeah, we'll move on after this.
The Knicks could play the Cavs version of basketball. They can mismatch hunt. They have guys who can ISO. Obviously, Jalen Brunson's one of the great isolation scorers, but like they have other guys who could do that too. But they can also, and it was mostly cat centric over the previous 3 weeks before this series. I think tonight was a reminder, like, no, we could actually, there are other ways that we could play quote unquote team basketball on offense. The Cavs don't really have that gear, right? Is like their only thing to do is we are going to mismatch hunt and we are going to that's how we are going to try to exploit you. And I think like, I really want to go back and watch them on defense tonight because it was in the moment, it felt very impressive. Much like they took Maxey away in the last series, it feels like they've done almost as good of a job taking Mitchell away. I know Mitchell has gotten his numbers, but it doesn't feel like Mitchell has ever come close to like, oh my God, he's taking over levels, you know?
Not
and
yet.
I think that's a credit to their team.
There's a theory out there. I don't know if you've seen this, Mark, but like
we talked about this. Yes.
There's a theory out there that he's not 100%, that he's,
I heard
he's dragging a leg, and it's why we really didn't see him like push it until the second half. So maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Look, Knicks are favored in the series. We saw what we saw for 3 quarters, 40 minutes in game 1. I'm starting to wonder if that was just they hadn't played in 9 days, and the Cavs game planned for an offense that was very beautiful, and then the Knicks went back to an offense that got them very far in several years, as Mr. Legler said in your conversation with him today. And they stole game 1. And then like the Cavs' secret weapon of leave Josh Hart open completely backfired in the third quarter. And now, other than like a magnet ball from their role players in game 3 or 4, that's how they're going to have to beat the Knicks, is they just don't miss. And I think the Knicks have some counters for that, unfortunately.
And just
we'll go to squad bets after this.
Yeah. Last thing, in the is Jalen Brunson a superstar conversation, which is always hiding around the corner. Like, how many guys in NBA history, forget the game today, in NBA history, could go out there and have an absolutely, molten lava level heat, 38 points with the absolute, you need every one of them one night. And then 2 nights later, go out there and be, John Stockton or Steve Nash and have 14. It's like the ways that he impacts the basketball game. And I think it's funny because we spent some time over the last like 2-3 months of the season. I know on a lot of postgame shows I did fielding questions of like, are we starting to see the downside of Jalen Brunson's career? It's like, is it the ankle and this and that? You're shaking your head, Mark, but like you were there too. This guy's playing the best basketball of his career. And it's like, look, you want to talk about destiny and like, if they're ever going to do it, maybe this is the year to do it. I don't know that he could play that much better than he's playing right now. And yet, as I say that, you know what he hasn't done in this series yet? Through 3 games, he hasn't hit threes.
Nope. So there's like a Jalen Brunson magnet ball game potentially coming too.
Not crazy. Not crazy at all.
Look, 2 days from now, the Knicks are going to play game 3. And will have a chance to move to 1 win away from the NBA Finals. A place they have not been, like, within 1 win from the NBA Finals.
don't
it's not a place.
don't talk
I'm
about
simply
it yet.
just saying.
Don't talk about it yet. Don't talk,
They have
I'm
not been in
there
that.
yet.
See, this is the process that I'm talking about. I can't even talk about what would happen if they do win one more game this weekend. So, regardless, shout out to the over 3,000 people watching in the chat. We're going to go through our squad bet for tonight presented by FANATICS Sportsbook. Sam Merrill, you loser. So, we went with some confidence in Josh Hart. I was the one that said, I think Josh has I want to volunteer that. So, anybody in the Hart Hive doesn't yell at me. Okay? Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Sam Merrill. Oh, I have rebounds on here. It was 8+ points. It's 3-pointers.
Threes.
8+ threes made. Apologies for the graphic mix-up. For those who are new to what a squad bet is, a squad bet is the best and smartest way to parlay from our friends at FANATICS Sportsbook. You pick a category, a stat category, points, rebounds, assists, made threes. Then you pick a target. We picked 8+ threes. And you picked 3 to 6 players to hit said target. We got this parlay at +230.
You know what the irony is?
What?
That what happened tonight is exactly the spirit of squad bets, because it's like, oh, Sam Merrill, the safest bet on the board to hit a bunch of threes because the Cavs going to need him to hit threes. Well, what if Sam Merrill has an off night? That's okay, because if you do squad bets, the other people in your squad bet can pick up your squad. And guess what? That's exactly what fucking happened. Josh Hart hit 5 threes, and OG did his part. He hit through. Sam Merrill hit 0.
Sam Merrill goes 0-7 from 3. Josh Hart has the magnet ball game a lot of us thought he was going to have. Hits 5 threes. Anunoby hits 2, so we're at 7. Needed Sam Merrill to go 1 of 7 from 3, and he doesn't. Now, as we talked about during the watch-along, join us on Saturday for the next watch-along. We would gladly sacrifice the squad bet if it meant the Knicks won.
Yeah.
Guess what? We could have had our cake and ate it too. Shout out to Fred Katz. So, Sam Merrill, you are dead to me. And Josh Hart, you are forever alive and well here in the Big Apple. What?
This is the greatest. Hold on, I want to put this up on the screen.
What
This is just too good.
What are you putting up on the screen?
Don't worry.
Okay. Well,
smart.
While you figure out how to screenshot,
I know how to do.
How are you?
I'm going to post this. We have a watch party on this Saturday.
Right.
For those who want to come watch the Knicks play the Cavaliers in Game 3, join the KFS crew at Pen 6 in Midtown. Free entry with RSVP. Go to the link that is on the screen, which will be hyperlinked in the episode description. I will put it in the chat in just a little bit. Yeah. Join the Knicks Film School crew for another Knicks Film School watch party. All the videos that I've seen shared to our Instagram from Game 1 and that comeback were absolutely insane. So Game 3 this Saturday, Pen 6, be there, or don't be there.
No, I mean be there.
But just be there.
If you're not going to be there, you won't get to hang out with the chicks that are on this flyer right there.
Was doing my best not to acknowledge it.
Couple of things.
What are you putting on? Oh, let me let you do it. Let me let you.
No,
do
you
it.
can. That's okay. That's fine. You can click the button.
Okay. Button clicked. What are you showing me?
I'm showing you a quote from Josh Hart. Josh Hart says he's not big on analytics. Quote, they're like a lamppost to a drunk person. You can lean on it, but it won't get you home. Josh was already my favorite, and now it's just he's my favorite times 27. Also, trivia for you. Shout out to New York Basketball Twitter account. You mentioned all the teams that have had 9+ game winning streaks in the playoffs and those that have won the championship. Only one of those teams has failed to make the NBA Finals. Do you know who that team is?
2016 Spurs.
There you go.
Yep.
Who ran into a KD, Westbrook,
Harden.
Not Harden.
Yes, Harden. 2013 Spurs. Excuse me. 2013 Spurs.
No, hold on.
Oh, no, you're right. Sorry, no,
2012.
You're right. It's the 2012. So it's the 2012 Spurs that won the first 10 games of the postseason.
Yep.
Had like a huge winning streak to end the regular season as well. They lose the next 4 then against KD.
But it was like
Westbrook
they were
and James Harden.
That was the series where it was like, Oh, the Thunder make the Spurs look old in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they also had one of the 15 greatest players ever, and whatever you consider. At that time, Russell Westbrook was like an MVP caliber player.
Someone actually put a question on Twitter out there that I was fascinated by. Who's the best player in NBA history that you would take Jalen Brunson over? And my first answer was Russell Westbrook.
Oh,
peak
like,
powers?
Yeah, like when you're looking at the pyramid that Bill Simmons calls it, who's the best player in NBA history that you would take Jalen Brunson over? I would go to Russ before Jalen Brunson.
That's not a fair question to ask.
Excuse me, I would go to Jalen Brunson over Russ. I would go to Jalen Brunson over Dame. I would go to Jalen Brunson over Anthony Davis. Like I'm literally just going down the top 75 right now.
Anthony Davis is different. It's such a different animal because he could never be the best guy on a team because he just doesn't have that level of offensive games. He was always meant to be a number 2, just like Jalen Brunson needs a supporting cast.
And yet he's still the best player on the team.
No, let's limit it to ball handlers, right? Because you could say Jalen over
Jalen Brunson
Howard.
Or Steve Nash.
Steve Nash.
Steve
Nash might be the second or third greatest shooter of all time, and one of the 5 greatest point guards of all time.
And I would take Jalen Brunson. I don't know, something about like making it this far into the playoffs for me just entices me. I don't know.
The fact that that's a conversation, and the guy you're saying I'll take Jalen Brunson over won 2 MVPs and finished second another year, says a lot.
Jalen Brunson, James Harden.
Oh, that's not a conversation.
Oh, come on.
I had to put it out there, guys. Brunson. The other guy won an MVP. Jalen Brunson, Allen Iverson. I know where this is going. I would take Jalen Brunson.
Different sport.
Efficiency didn't matter in 2001. Jalen Brunson, Kevin Durant.
Oh, come on.
Jalen.
That's not fair. Kevin.
I'm taking Jalen.
I'm taking Jalen.
I don't need that.
Unless Kevin's allowed to come with the Warriors, I'm allowed to take Jalen Brunson.
No, let's keep it realistic. I think
Jalen Brunson, Chris Paul.
I love Paul in his prime, but I don't know.
Prime Paul was all defense caliber. He was obviously the best passer in the league. I mean, he's a brilliant shot maker. Prime Chris Paul.
Guy made 1 finals. Yes.
I know.
And it was with a lot of injury luck and pandemic shortened seasons.
Wait a minute. What finals did he make?
The one with the Suns.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That was post-prime Chris Paul. Chris Paul. Chris Paul.
Okay. I'm taking Jalen Brunson.
No, I think Russ is the right way to go because Russ, there was always some inherent flaws in his game where, as like Zach Lowe would mention on the pod, like there was always those 5 shots per game where you're like, oh my God, if you could just not take those 5 awful shots that or there's no need to take them, you'd be the best player in the league. But he would always take those 5 shots and there would be like the turnovers and stuff. I think you were right. The Dame one.
Jalen Brunson, Kobe Bryant. I'm joking. I've been mostly joking the last 10 minutes. I just wanted to run with the bit. I do not want to welcome Kobe-stan here. Kobe is a legend. I would take Kobe over Jalen Brunson. I just
like Brunson. Tony Parker's an interesting
one.
Like
that Brunson, is the conversation.
Brunson Billups is an interesting one. Brunson. I'm trying to think of some other ones.
I would take Brunson over Billups.
Hall of Famer.
Jalen Brunson, LeBron James. All right, I think I've done enough. We should get to Super Chats. That is a fun question because, okay, yeah. Mark, this is a conversation for you and me because he's not allowed to talk past game 2. Should Jalen Brunson win 6 more games, a conversation will have to be had about where he stands all time because he will be the best player on a team that won the title. It's time now with all of the stats that pop up when he has a big game that it's like him, Wilt, Elgin, and Michael Jordan are the only ones in that category. You put a ring on his finger too, then some all-time conversations are going to have to be had about it. I'm just preparing us for them.
It's not 6 more. It's 2 more. It's 2 more.
Yeah, so, but I'm literally saying if he wins the title, then it's even
understand.
more definitive.
Listen. If he wins a title, then we're gonna. Then it's gonna be. That's a crazy town. If he just wins 2 more and he gets to the finals, and he gets to add best player on a finals team to his resume, even if he does not win the finals, then you're alongside. Again, I'm not saying he's as good as these players, but then you are, by that metric specifically, you are alongside players like Charles Barkley and Karl Malone and Patrick Ewing and Clyde Drexler. We hate him, but Reggie Miller. Guys of that ilk. That stuff is significant. I don't know that we're going to get there. Jason Kidd is the best player on a finals team that lost in the finals twice.
I'd take Jalen Brunson.
Those are all top 75 guys, obviously. But then he at least gets a seat at that table to be in those discussions. Got to win 2 more games.
Got to win 2 more games. Listen, the way that they're playing right now, I would say got to win 6, but I get it. Got to win 2. 1 game at a time. Win Saturday,
yes, man,
and then we'll move on.
Win 6, and you're fucking. Then you're LT, then you're Jeter, then you're Namath, then you're Messier. At that point, if you win 6, doesn't matter whether you have an MVP or MVPs on your mantle. It doesn't matter how many you win. It doesn't matter if he wins 6 more and he brings this team to a title. Listen,
this city,
forget about it. That's
the hardest place to play. No, full stop. That should be considered in the overall discussion.
Yeah, winning on Steph Curry's coattails.
He would carve out. He would carve out a place in NBA history that nobody else quite has when you consider the whole story of where he came from, where he was drafted, what the first 4 years of his career were, how Rick Carlisle stuck him on the bench in the fucking playoff series after his 3rd year. The D- or D+, whatever the fuck the grade was, all that stuff. There would be no one
where this franchise was before.
And that's Mark, you nailed it. It's all of it would be together. Again, 6 more wins. It's a lot of fucking wins at this time of year. So that's why I'm not even entertaining that yet. Just get 2 more, and then that's those discussions will be plenty fun, and then you'll see what happens. But long way to go. Let's get to
Jalen Brunson or Wilt.
That's it. There you go. Well,
if he wins a second, now, John, what if he wins a second title?
There you go.
Okay, I've done enough hijinks. Enjoy the next 24 hours, Knicks fans. We're on a 9-game playoff winning streak. Truly do not remember what it's like to lose a playoff game. Celebrate good times in this pursuit of happiness that we're currently achieving rather well right now.
I'm reading. Jared Allen had a quote here on the Cavs guarding Josh Hart in Game 2. He's an NBA player. He's going to make 3-pointers. That's great. Just have to follow the statistics. Have to follow the coach's trust and intuition. Kudos to him for changing the game and having an impact in a different way. That does not sound like complete confidence. They are a confident team, man. They are a confident team right now. Holy shit. This is fun. Didn't think I'd ever get to experience this, but this is fun. Okay, let's do it. First super chat comes to us courtesy of Andrew Badow. What's going on, Andrew? Thank you for contributing and getting us started here on the program. Hi, my name is what? My name is who? My name is Chicka Slim Bridges. I like where you're going there. Mikal Bridges was awesome tonight. He was awesome. We were having a couple of back and forths towards the end of the game about who would get the Eastern Conference Finals MVP if it was awarded right now, or who has a leg up on it. Brunson's number 1, but Bridges is, he's hot on his tail. He's hot on his tail. Bridges, but also, I mean, I had the stat in the newsletter today that over the last 6 games, over the last 6 playoff games, among players who were averaging at least 30 minutes a game, Mikal Bridges was the most efficient shooter in the league. Second place by several percentage points lower was Jared Allen, who is a center, notably, and on 3 fewer field goal attempts a game. Like, what Mikal Bridges is doing from a shooting standpoint alone, it's just like one of the all-time playoff hot streaks that we are literally witnessing right now. Like, this is it honestly, it rivals OG's first 8. It's right there with OG's first 8. And the fact that the Knicks are getting 2 of these streaks in the same postseason from their 2, from the 2 Wingstop guys, and then you get Hart tonight. I mean, it's like this is an embarrassment of riches. Thanks, Andrew. Andrew with another one. Older bro and I rolling into game 4 with Dumb and Dumber orange and blue tuxes. So look out. That's fantastic. That's great. I hope you get to see. Listen, I mean this with all my heart. I hope you get to see the Knicks advance to the NBA Finals, or just win a game. Just if winning, I hope you get to see a win, because even if they lose game 3, if you see a win, that means they come clinch at home. So, Bill Peter friend, my goodness gracious, Bill, thank you so much for the generosity. Always here. You always support the show, and you're a great follower and a great supporter of what we do here. And this is just thank you so much. Bill Peter friend, for fans old enough, they were up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals in 1993. The Cavs aren't the Bulls. The Knicks are better. We can do this. 6 more to go. I thought you were going a different direction. I thought you were going 1971, because 1971 they were up 2-0 on the Bullets, and the Bullets won 4 of the last 5, and actually mentioned that game on the newsletter. Shout out to all the Substackers out there. Subscribe to the Knicks Film School newsletter on Substack. I did a video in response to several comments, and someone I went through the most impactful missed shots in Knicks history, and I had the Starks missed 3-pointer at the end of Game 6 of 1994 Finals as number 1, but I had Bill Bradley's missed shot at the end of Game 7 of the 1971 Eastern Conference Finals as number 2, because obviously if he makes that shot, they go into overtime and have a chance to make another NBA Finals. I thought that's where you're going, but yeah, the Bulls one is significant too. Obviously, Michael Jordan's not on the other team, so I'm not quite as worried about that. Look, keep playing like you're playing. It wasn't a perfect night tonight, but like they have so much confidence right now. They have so much confidence right now, and I this is me saying this. I'd be shocked if this team doesn't go to the finals. I mean that. I'd be shocked if this team doesn't go to the finals, the way they're playing and the confidence that they're playing with. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you. Adam Noble, what's going on, Adam? Loved JB's process. Picked them apart with his shot off, even with his shot off. Going to need that diversification in his approach for the finals against those pit bulls. Got to get there first. Yeah, look, I thought he forced a couple in the first half. There was one really tough 2 that he took that I thought was a little unnecessary. And then there was a 3. There were 2 threes. One, he was trying to draw the foul and didn't draw the foul. And he, in for a penny, in for a pound, and had to put it up anyway. And then there was a deep 3, I think it was during the run that he attempted. Or I was like, I don't know if he needed that there. Other than that, I thought all the shots were good. Just missed a couple he usually makes. But yeah, great process from JB. Thanks, Adam. Yeah. What the? You're kidding me. Oh man, this is from the Snake. This is from the Snake River Roasting Company, which I'm going to get back to in a second. Love this, Knicks fam. Sponsored by Hart 2+3s, Brunson 1+3s, Knicks money line. So you want a little bit of money tonight, did you? It's Mecky. I hit my daily limit on the other account. Well, a couple of things. One, it's good to know that YouTube has limits on how much people could send in these super chats because, my Lord. Number two, anybody who has watched the Knicks Film School postgame show, specifically during the playoffs the last few years, has become familiar with Mekhi. And Mekhi is, I'll just say it. I hope he doesn't mind me saying it. The most generous contributor that we have in terms of just the amount of dollars that he puts forth in these super chats, which I'm just always amazed by. And so we were doing the watch along tonight, and Mekhi's sending in, super chats during the watch along. And I'm like, we got to give this guy some free publicity here. And so I started talking about his coffee company, which is, as you see on the screen here, if you're watching on YouTube, the Snake River Roasting Company, which is a coffee company independently owned in Wyoming. You could just Google them, Snake River Roasting Company. And if you want to support a great Knick fan who supports us, go check out Snake River Roasting Company and maybe order some coffee. I think they deliver all over the country. It is absolutely fantastic coffee. And it's just really generous of you, Mekhi. Thank you so much. I never know what to say in these situations. I'm always just blown away that the level of generosity. So thanks so much. And I hope you're enjoying this run as much as it seems like you are. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate that. Man, shout out to Snake River. Andrew Badell, Josh, elite. Yes. Josh Hart. Happy he's on my team. Not a perfect player, but that's why he's the perfect New York player. Because being a New Yorker is not about succeeding because of your perfection or because you are perfect. It is about succeeding despite your imperfections. That is, to me, what has always defined what makes New Yorkers New Yorkers. And it's why I always appreciate Josh. Thanks, Andrew. Nikki Double G, what's going on, Nikki? They say the worst thing about being a moron is that you're the only one who doesn't know. Another symptom might be that you traded for James Harden. Fascinating decision. I think for them it was as much about not having the stomach to deal with Darius Garland's various injury issues as much as like we believe James Harden is the guy to take us to a championship. Like Harden's contract was shorter, obviously, than Garland's. I think it's like just that it gave him more maneuverability. They were a second apron team. And Harden's a guy like, maybe there was some chemistry stuff, but Harden's a guy. It's like they were already a matchup hunting team, and they're like, all right, well, let's again talk about in for a penny, in for a pound. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I think the Cavs are down 0-2 because of James Harden. Now, has he helped their cause? Not necessarily. But I thought they could have won. I thought they could have won either of these games with how Harden has played. Now, I might get some pushback on that because of the bad defense that Harden has played has been really bad. It has been like the lowlights are very low. And that's part of the calculation, and you never know how teammates are feeling about that, but I don't know. I mean, he hasn't hit threes. What was he tonight from deep? You know what? I stand corrected. He was 3 of 7. But he was also 3 of 3 of 7 from deep, and then 3 of 8 from 2. Like, and only got to the line 3 times. Kudos to the Knicks, by the way. Only getting to the line 3 times, and then 2 assists for James Harden. That number that's a big number. I mean, it's obviously a small number, but it's big for the Knicks' success because James Harden, after he picked their defense apart when they went and doubled him, the Knicks were like, that might have been the biggest adjustment of the game for New York, is the fact that how many doubles did we see on James Harden? No, they were just willing to switch, and that meant switching Brunson. that meant switching towns occasionally. And yeah, Brunson got him a couple times. Harding got him a couple times. Harden got Brunson for a runner, but like by and large, like they've defended Harden really well in the series. So yeah, I don't know. Look, I've never been a Harden guy. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I look, if I'm a Cavs fan, I'm sick to my stomach over game one. So thanks, Nikki. Jack Corker, what's going on, Jack? Every time I get close to getting pissed with Hart, he has a game like this, and I'm in love again. Great coaching from Mike Brown to sub in JB and Mikal early in the fourth quarter. 100%. Couldn't agree more. And stop the Cavs push. 2 to go. Let's fucking go Knicks. I can't believe they're 2 wins from the NBA Finals. I know I just said I would be shocked if they did not make the NBA Finals, and yet I cannot wrap my head around the fact that they are 2 games from the NBA Finals. Yeah. Thanks, Jack. You Spree, another one of these. My goodness. Thank you so much, you. Really appreciate you, man. Thank you. The numbers won't back it up, but I say this is Mikal's best game as a Knick. Whew. I don't know about best game. It might be his most important game, given the stakes. But that, here's the question. You know what the competition is? The competition is 2 nights ago. That's the competition because that game you needed every ounce of whatever you got from Mikal to get that win. Now, the difference, I will say, tonight Mikal Bridges was pretty much flawless. In game 1, I thought Bridges had some, as did the entire team, to be very clear, had some moments where you're like, that wasn't great. Game 1, 18 points on 7-11 from the field, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals tonight. Stats don't tell the whole story, obviously, but tonight, 19 on 12 shots, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. You got a case. Look, like, the Christmas game against the Spurs, whatever. I think he had a game against the Spurs this year too. That was fantastic. Portland game always will stand out to me with the game winner. Like, he's had better games, but in terms of impact, in terms of what they needed from him, because again, the Cavs are like, we're really going to try to make sure, other than the fourth quarter of game 1, which is just insanity, they've been like, we're not going to let Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns beat us. So Mikal has needed to step up, and he has. Thanks, Shrewsbury. Appreciate it. Iceman Sham, goes without saying, Josh's toughness is unmatched, but it was amazing seeing him stay with it and have an awesome game after missing his first few threes. It's a testament to not only him, but I think the locker room and the coaching staff. It's a testament to all parties that he knows that everybody has his back. And he knows the confidence that the people around him have in him. Again, I said it like some people were lamenting, the choice not to ever go in the first half with the lineup that brought them back and won them the game in game 1. I said, I'm like Mike Brown benched this dude for the last 15 minutes of the game. We benched him for the last 15 minutes. I think he owed him a half a basketball and then obviously the start of the third quarter to like figure it out. And I think that was smart because he started to figure out in the first half. He saw the ball go through the net a couple times from deep. And then obviously the floodgates kind of opened in the second half. So it's great job by Mike Brown. Great job by Josh Hart. Thanks, Iceman. Will Thompson, that OG 3 was the play of the game. It's I thought it was massive because you could feel the tide. Honestly, it felt like the tide had turned. It felt like momentum was like squarely with the Cavs. Because if you look, I'll go look right now. The first the fourth quarter. I mean, they got the look. The lead was up to 18, and then it was down to 7. But even at the start of the fourth quarter, there was a 15-point lead, and they hadn't. I mean, they started the fourth quarter on a 6-0 run. Excuse me, they started the fourth. My bad. They started the fourth quarter on an 8-0 run. The Knicks hadn't scored in 3 minutes. So yeah, massive shot, one that should not get lost to time. That was really, and it came right after that silly fucking turnover, that they had, I forget the defensive stop that they had after the silly turnover, but it was a very silly turnover. That might, you know what? I wonder if that was when, no, the missed free throws came later. Terrible job at the free throw line for the Cavs in this game. Okay. Next up. Thanks, Will. Robert Cross. We're 2 games away from the party bus, Robert. First time, long time, it's your boy John. 6 wins away from the prophecy being fulfilled. Your New York Knicks will be crowned NBA champions on June 16th. So he has them winning in game 6 at home in Madison Square Garden. Okay. Hashtag 53 wins. I mean, that would be fantastic. I would love that. I would be drunk for a week if they won the title. I'm just going to say that right now. Maybe a week isn't even longer. Maybe a month. Yeah. Let's get 2 more and let's get there first. How about that? Let's do that. Thanks, Robert. Alfie Greco. What's going on, Alfie? What a turnaround for Mikal. Feels like yesterday there was justified talk about him losing his spot in the starting lineup. It feels like yesterday. I was like, wait a minute. Go get one in Cleveland, Knicks in 5. Yeah, I'd sign for that right now. The talk about him losing his spot in the starting lineup, was it justified? Yes. But whenever we talked about it, and I talked about it a lot, and I was like, but my justification was always like, you have to make a change just to make a change. You have to make a change to shift things up, because anytime you came back to like, all right, well, what do they need from this position? And like, you always came back to like, well, what they need from that spot in the starting lineup is the theoretical version of what Mikal Bridges is supposed to be. And so it's like, well, okay, then what's the smartest move? To just let him figure it out and become the guy that they thought they traded for, or to just make a change just to make a change, just in the thought that anything different or something different would be better. And I said it recently, I don't know when or on what show, but like, the most important thing Mike Brown did in coaching decision he made in this playoff run was to not bench Mikal Bridges. It's the most important thing that he did. Thanks, Alfie. Exhibition continues. What's going on, man? They did not play with their food at all. 2 more wins, but something special is happening with this team. I'll push back on that a little bit. I think they did play with their food a little bit in the first half. I thought there was some sloppiness. I don't want to say that they weren't serious. I think they defended hard for the entire game. I thought they upped their level of intensity on the defensive end as the game went on, but I thought they defended well enough. I thought some of their offensive process at times in the first half was questionable. And then when they allowed the Cavs to get going and make it a 7-point game before that OG3 in the fourth quarter, I thought some of the stuff early on in the fourth was like, Again, we're nitpicking here. We're nitpicking because of the level that this team has gotten to. But to turn around and, and in the second half have both an 18-0 run and then completely shut the door on this Cavs team when they thought maybe, hey, we might get ourselves a game down the stretch here. Can't say enough about this team. Can't say enough about them. Thanks, man. Good stuff there. Next up, AG Blatt Vids. All credit to Hart, Mikal, Jalen. Chris Paul Brunson, there's our Chris Paul reference, but also worth noting how much healthy OG helps everything flow on both ends. I don't think he's healthy yet. I don't think he's fully healthy. I think, the best, obviously we would all just love to get this series over with to get to the freaking finals. But the benefit of getting the series over with quick, just like the last series getting over with that quickly, is getting OG even more rest. Because you want to talk about needing a guy, shit. It doesn't matter who they play if they make it to the finals. They're going to need OG for 40 minutes a night if they get there. Doesn't matter who they play. Does not matter who they play. They're going to need every ounce of OG that OG has to give. So get him some rest, please. Please. Sam Garcia's dad, what's up, Ray? Sam and I have tickets to Game 5. I wouldn't mind missing the game. I love this team. Hashtag suck it, Cleveland. Suck it, Cleveland. That's great. Yeah. No, I mean, what's Game 3 is on, what's tonight? Thursday? So Game 3 is on Saturday. Game 4 is on Memorial Day. I'm not going to allow myself to think about, no. One step at a time. If they get ended in 5, man, and if you guys could go and see them end this series in 5 games, that would be really cool. That would be really cool. And honestly, like, look, if they win in 4, fucking fantastic. Just the thought of them having a celebration on the court at MSG, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Thanks, Ray. Robert Cross with another one. First time, long time at your boy, John. One of your all-time favorite Knicks had a most memorable game. The epitome of New York City, true grit, Josh Hart, hashtag 53 wins. We are going to do, look, if they make the finals, I don't think they have to win it. I think if they make the finals, we will get to engage in some, let's call it retrospective, history-focused summer content. And I think part of that will be reassessing our 25 for 25, of which I think you could argue at this point Josh Hart is in the conversation for, certainly in the conversation for a top 5 Knick of the last 25 years. Mark, yeah? Yeah. I think top five last 25 years. In terms of like all time, I need to really sit down and like think about it more. But like, I'll just give you, just to throw a name out there. I did the list. What was it? 5 years ago, the NBA it was the 75th anniversary. So I for the newsletter, I did the 75 greatest Knicks of all time. And I remember I forget where in the top 20 I had Anthony Mason. Somewhere in the bottom part of the top 20, somewhere in the low teens, I think. And I was just like, oh, it's Anthony Mason. Of course, Anthony Mason is one of the 20 greatest Knicks ever because he was part of those great teams and like yada yada yada. Like if we're sitting here looking at it objectively, I think there's an argument that Hart is at least in the same conversation as Mace, And again, that's one name I'm pulling out of a hat. He's got a ways to go before he's in like territory of, Oakley and Starks and Houston and Sprewell and like, and those guys, but like, I don't know, top 25, top 30, top 25, somewhere in that range, he's up there. You have to put him up there. He's been part of too much winning. You know, I mean, it's not like the guy doesn't have numbers. You know, he has some numbers. So, yeah. Anyway, good stuff, Robert. Thank you. Miguel Bustos, another fuck them picks type of night. We're getting real close to never having to talk about that trade again. Like real close. Very close. We're like 93% of the way there. You know? This is exactly what they envisioned when they traded for him. They didn't envision that he was going to shoot 70% from three, or not from three, 70% from the field over, half of the playoff games that they have played. But this style of play and this kind of like, oh yeah, you're going to be, you might be the fourth guy, but in a lot of ways you might be the most important guy, so we're getting real close. Thanks, Miguel. Kevin Inishevsky, what's going on, Kev? This team is so versatile and can beat you in so many ways. What works against one night may not work against us the next night. Truly special viewing. Yeah. It's a bunch of talented players all operating at or near the peak of their powers, playing unselfishly and playing together, which is why for me, this is probably going to sound nuts. Look, what Hart did tonight was so important and obviously led them to the win, the whole thing. I would argue the most important performance of tonight, arguably, was Cat. Because I saw, for my money, I think, and I mentioned this when I went on with Legler earlier today, that other than OKC, I think Cleveland has frustrated Karl Anthony Towns more than any team in the league. Again, other than OKC, over the last 2 years, with how they've guarded him and he's put up some numbers, but you have not felt his impact against the Cavs for the most part through 2 years. There's been one or two exceptions, and then you had game one, and game one was just wasn't a good Cat game on offense. And then so for him to go out there tonight and I thought really play within himself and take the bull by the horns when he needed to, but he also was a guy they needed to pay. You felt Cat in this game, and that was so vital to me because, your comment made me think about it, because the one guy who, if you zoom out and you're like, all right, if their versatility gets sapped or zapped, I don't know what the right verb is, who are we going to be looking at? And I think you look at Cat because he could get neutralized, and you're like, well, if you have one of your All-NBA guys get neutralized, then that makes it tougher to win. And tonight he wasn't neutralized. So big step forward for him. Good comment, Kev. Thank you. Hush Zoo. What's up, Hush? What was it talent on the team? Probably they're the worst franchise in the NBA, but how did the Kings let Mike Brown go? Oh, of course he has his blunders, but A+ so far. And then we got another one from Hush. I think this was Josh Hart, J Mac. I am a 0 IQ, 0 ball knowledge, absolute casual. I have child takes on basketball who cries when something slightly goes wrong. Forgive me. Nah, man. I go on my rants about Josh Hart because I want to counter the other narrative that's out there, and I don't blame you for that. We don't have to talk about where that stuff comes from, but to me, he is someone that deserves a vociferous defense, and I'm all too happy to be at the forefront of that defense. As for Mike Brown, the Kings are a disaster of an organization, and they have been a disaster of an organization ever since Vivek Ranadive bought them. the coaches that they have gone through. I mean, it's like comical. So whatever, sucks for them. And their loss is our game. But look, it's not as if Mike Brown has been some sure thing, and it's not as if Mike Brown all year long we were like, oh, they nailed this hire. On paper, everything was good, but you never I questioned what was going on between him and Cat, and was that gonna, pay dividends or whatever. Well, it's looking great right now. So there you go. Thanks, Hush. Mr. Fabro, what's going on? I'm so glad Mikal has justified my belief in him. Good job by you if you never had your belief shaken. And finally given me a reason to consistently root for him. Another one from Mr. Fabro here. $10 for good game 3 vibes. Well, thank you. Thank you. Again, just get one in Cleveland. But if it could be game 3, that's great. And if you get game 3, might as well make it game 4 too. Mikal Bridges, I think, specifically because he has, the lack of foul drawing, I think, is just one of those things that gets under people's skin in a certain type of way. That is, I think that has factored in more to some of the negativity than like, oh, he's not like an on-ball stopper that we thought we were going to get, although he's been pretty damn good on the ball this freaking playoffs. Or like, oh, his above the break threes aren't, super consistent, this and that. I think it's just the how more than the what with him that has gotten people frustrated. But the dude's a gamer. Comes up big in the biggest moments. It's tough. You can't say anything else other than that at this point. Thanks, Mr. Fabro. Zach Horowitz, my guy. I knew Hart would hit threes. John, hope to be in your life like old men, or hope to be in your life as old men talking about 99 and 2026 with undying support for Hart. Think we found something tonight. Yeah, I mean, look, again, I'm fascinated by what coverage the Cavs are going to come out with in game 3. To me, if you're them, I would almost stick with this. Because what better option do they have? Like, serious, what better option do the Cavs have? I don't know what better option they have. Maybe you take Allen off a Hart and you put, you put Mitchell on Hart. Maybe you put your weakest defender on Hart. Maybe that's the way to go. But then Hart's just going to come and set screens, and and what are you going to do then? You're going to switch him, or I don't know. I don't know what they do. But I'm glad that we don't have that problem. Thanks, Zach. John S. Childkraut? John's Childkraut. I think it's John's Childkraut. The Knicks' last defeat was on April 23rd. Holy crap. Their next game is May 23rd. They and we are now living that scene from The Matrix. What's he doing? He's beginning to believe. It's the team. It's why the last month of basketball is why we all have been so freaking pissed off from time to time over the last 2 years. Because we knew, and I'm sure Leon Rose knew too, or thought he knew, like, this should be better than this, right? This should be better than this. And, you want to talk about, it's always, conversation always goes back to blame. Who do you blame? Whose fault is it? Who was at the biggest culprit? I genuinely don't believe it was any culprit. Now, you want to tell me they needed to change the coach? I'll buy you that. I'll buy that. 100%. I'll buy that. But as we saw this year, that didn't always work. I think it was more than that. I think kind of where I'm at this point, I take them at their word that the year was a process and processes can be messy. We always talk about going through the process. Well, when it looks messy, we all of a sudden we don't want to go through it anymore. But I'll take them at their word that the year was a process and that what did Jalen Brunson say? You guys don't see what goes on behind the scenes and this and that. Like, again, I'll take him at his word for that. I'll take everybody at their word. That they built up to this point, and this is great, man. I mean, this is the best. This is the best the Knicks have played in my lifetime. And now I don't even have to think twice about that. It was the best the Knicks have played in my lifetime. It's not even that's easy now to say that. Thanks, John. Uptown Hoodie. I need to find just one thing in my life that I could execute with the same devastating proficiency of the OG drive and power drop step. He had a good one tonight. He had a good one. Yeah, I mean, the thing about OG drives is like, I'm not saying he needs like perfect conditions, but like he, it's usually works out better when the ball is like sitting up in the middle of the fairway. When the ball gets into the rough, it could be a little dicier. But what I love about OG is I think he's really good at identifying when those conditions are available for him, and he obviously exploits those conditions very well. I was worried in the moment, not worried maybe a little bit too strong, but like when they had a chance, was it to extend the 18-0 run, or was it Brunson? No, I think this was in the fourth quarter. Brunson drove baseline and it looked like he could have taken a shot, and he instead tried to pass it to OG driving, and it was a little behind. And it ended up being a turnover, and I think that the Cavs scored. I think that was in the fourth quarter. But like I wanted that one so bad. But yeah, no, OG's been great. Thanks, Uptown Hoodie. Another one from Uptown Hoodie coming up. Great cat bounce back. Yes. Body language was hurried and jittery in game one, was controlled and focused in game two. Yeah, the only exception was one exception during this game where I can't even remember what it was. Literally, it was just like one play where I'm like, oh, Cat, don't be silly. Avoiding foul trouble was huge with Mitch struggling. Yes, it was. Cat was another one. Big momentum three at the end of the third quarter to make it 79-63. In the moment, that one felt big too. Yeah. Thanks, Uptown Hoodie. Couple from Hush here. Also, I'm not joking. If this team breaks the dreaded 9-win streak at curse and we finally see double-digit streaks in the offs, we're winning it all. Good karma. I mean, I hope so. And next up, one more from Hush here. One adjustment I'd like to see is just stick on Merrill. He had too many open looks, in my opinion, especially playing away. Role players turn up at home. You are 100% right. Merrill's, that's why we were like, in the moment, we were like shaking our heads about the squad bet, because I think all of Merrill's threes tonight, in the first half especially, I think he was 0 for 5 in the first half, they were wide open. And it was like, guys, you cannot leave him that open. Now, I think there were one or two where maybe a screen was involved, or maybe there was some kind of a breakdown. But there were definitely, it felt like at least 3 where it was like, no, they have made a choice to help very far off because, protect the paint, the whole thing. And if Merrill gets an open 3 out of it, then he gets an open 3 out of it. Now, I don't think their defense was as crisp as it needed to be on those possessions, obviously. But yeah, they got to improve that. They got to improve it 100%. And then one more here from Hush. Overall, Love JB's floor game. Had the answers to their soft and hard doubles. Crazy how we could flip a switch. Elite stuff. F them picks. Sorry, Josh. Let's go next. Appreciate you, Hush. Appreciate all of the contributions and always chiming in. That's what I was going to look up. Longest. So the last time the Knicks have had a 10-game winning streak was 2012-13 season. They won 13 games in a row from March 18th until April 11th. And then they won 15 in a row in the 93-94 season, also in March to April. Something about March and April. They love going on these long winning streaks. And then that's it as far as double-digit winning streaks. You have to go back to 1973 other than those two. So, yeah. Thanks, Hush. T. Doyle, what's going on, T. Doyle? Excellent watch along as always. Glad you enjoyed. Saturday would be a hell of a time to finally get that 10th win in a row. Hashtag let's fucking go Knicks. Yes. 100%. I mean, they'll come out and I'm sure they'll play hard. I mean, they haven't really hit threes yet in the series, other than the fourth quarter of game one. I mean, they what did they hit tonight from three? What were they? Mid-30s probably? 35, 36%? 36%. 13 to 36. So, it's okay. I mean, it's fine. 36% is obviously fine. I could see them coming out in game three and lighting it up in the first quarter from three. I wouldn't put it past this team. Thanks, T. Doyle. Whoa, another one of these. My goodness. The generosity tonight. MZAL13, thank you so much. Really, 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 really appreciate it. Josh Hart forever. Mikal having a great series. Cat with the bounce back. And obviously Brunts him. 9 playoff wins in a row. Just wow. This team has it and can't wait to see how the rest of the story plays out. Happy to experience this with KFS. Let's fucking go. Well, we are happy to have you aboard. We're happy to have everybody aboard. And if you are aboard and you are watching on the Knicks Film School YouTube channel right now, hit that like button because that helps us do what we do in addition to the generosity of folks like you. Yeah, I think they do have it. They're playing like a finals team. They're playing like a team who is not going to be happy just to be in the finals. They're playing like a team that wants to win the fucking championship, and they're playing well enough to win the championship. I mean, you talk about 9 playoff wins in a row. And hold on one sec. Pull this up. Knicks playoff history. I have it as it just comes up. In this era, like the Leon Rose era, before this 9 times, before this 9-game winning streak, their longest playoff winning streak was 3 games. So they won 3 in a row against the Cavs in 2023. They won 3 in a row between the last game of the Sixers series and the first 2 games of the Pacers series in 2024. And then they won 3 in a row, last game of the Pistons series, and then the first 2 games of the Celtics series last year. They have tripled their previous high in terms of playoff wins in a row in this era. As we know, the previous Knick high for playoff wins in a row was 6 in a row, the 99 team. But if you go back to the championship years, I'm looking at it right now, their most wins in a row in the championship years was 5. They won 5 in a row in 1971, the aforementioned Bullet series that they ended up losing, and they won 5 in a row in 1972. Last 3 of the first round, first 2 of the second round. They think about that. If they actually went out there and they won game 3, they would double the longest playoff winning streak of the championship years. It's utter insanity what's happening right now. Thanks, Emzel. Dom the Dentist, what's going on, my guy? When you barely notice your superstars, your whole is officially greater than the sum of its parts. Championship team, J-Mac, championship team. They're playing well enough to be a championship team. One, keep playing like this, get 2 more, get to the big dance, and then if they get there, they will have an opponent to face. I don't know which opponent it's going to be, but look, I'm sure you've watched the Western Conference Finals. The level of play and just the intensity in the Western Conference Finals through 2 games is, frankly, it's up there with anything I've ever seen in this sport. It is a 10 out of 10 in terms of execution. Well, it's 10 out of 10 in terms of intensity. I would say it is not 10 out of 10 in terms of execution. The Spurs are turning the ball over like they're getting paid to turn the ball over. So, and they actually hit some rough patches last night, other than just the turnover. So maybe the execution hasn't been, but like the level of intensity and the execution, 10 out of 10. So Knicks will have their work cut out for them if they get there, but let's get there first. Okay. Today, my dad watched at our house. My mom loved watching the Yanks and Knicks. She especially loved JB. I know she would have loved every minute of this game. Not for nothing, but we're 2-0 and have not hit our stride yet. Let's fucking go Knicks. Yes. Thank you, Joseph, and really appreciate you chiming in, especially after everything that you and your family have been through this week. I am sure that your mom would have loved nothing more than to watch this game with you and your family. Have we hit our stride yet? Not in this series, no. Not in this series. I don't think they've hit their stride in this series. I will allow myself for just one brief second to look forward, hopefully not to my detriment, but a lot of people talked about how, playing the Hawks in the first round maybe will be good for them or was good for them or whatever because it's a tougher opponent than the Raptors. Well, first of all, Raptors acclimated themselves pretty well in the playoffs. And second of all, I don't really actually know how much them playing the Hawks steadied them or prepared them for the rest of the playoff run or whatever. I do think, though, sitting here now, watching this Cavs team, I know they're down 2-0, and I know we're all clowning on the Cavs right now. I do think playing the Cavs and specifically going against this Cavs defense with what they've been able to throw at the Knicks, I know the Cavs have weak spots that they could attack, but I think this is a really tough defense for the Knicks to navigate, and I think this is good experience for them if they're able to win 2 more games and get to the next round, regardless of who they wind up playing when they get there. I think this will be good experience for them. And let's just hope we get the opportunity. Thank you so much, Joseph. Really appreciate you. And again, shout out to you and your family, and just nothing but love to you guys. Jason M, my guy. Hart hitting shots completely changed the game. Yes. Yeah. No extra analysis needed. Mikal has been the perfect role player. Cat went back to last year's style as an aggressive scorer. Let's go Knicks. Yeah, he was more aggressive. He needed to be. Again, start of the third quarter. Loved how he attacked the Cleveland defense. He was just really good tonight. And he's going to need some of that more aggressive attacking mentality moving forward for 100%. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate you, man. Sergio Escoval. Put all the W's there. All the W's. 9. Count them, 9 in a row. Get your brooms ready. Let's go, Knicks. I'm not prepared for brooms. I am not prepared for brooms. I'll just tell you right now. In no way, shape, or form am I prepared for brooms. One game at a time. Go win on Saturday. How fucking cool would that be? Go win on Saturday. That's all I want. Thanks, Sergio. Aaron Chan. What's going on, Aaron? If you told me before this 9-game winning streak that Mikal would be the most reliable player behind Brunson, I'd call you a liar. 6 more to go. Let's fucking go next. Yeah. I would have, with how he was playing, they almost took him out of the starting lineup a month ago. They almost took him out of the starting lineup. And all of us would have been like, okay, go for it. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But he has been reliable, and he has been the guy that they traded for. So kudos to him, and kudos to the front office. Thanks, Aaron. Jessica, what's going on, Jess? 2+ wins, 2 more wins to the NBA Finals. Hashtag Knicks in 4. Let's fucking go. Tonight's the night for gummies and the song Firth of Fifth, John. Write the newsletter with that on repeat. Well, I don't have any gummies in the household, Jessica, unfortunately. I don't think alcohol has quite the same. Wait, Firth of Fifth. So, it's the Genesis song that you wanted me to. Okay. I will. It's a long song. 9 minutes. Okay. I got it queued up for when I start writing the newsletter. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate the recommendation. T. Doyle just ordered me some Snake River coffee. Shout out, Mackie. Hey, way to support independent business owners. Awesome stuff. Thank you, T. Doyle. That's awesome. I'm going to do a Snake River coffee taste test pretty soon. If they make the finals, that'll be something we do to anticipate the finals. Dennis D. Sabato. The fact that we now live in a world where this is just another ho-hum playoff victory is, quite frankly, insane. Let's freaking go Knicks, New York forever. I love this comment, Dennis. I love this comment so much because, and you guys could probably tell, I started the post game, and for me, this was kind of a subdued monologue where I was just like, okay, let's get right into talking about what we got to talk about, and talking about the win streak, and talking about this, talking about that. It's because this has become this is just what the reality is now. This has become normal. And yet they are as close to the NBA Finals, and I would argue closer, because when they won their second Eastern Conference Finals game last year, they were down, obviously 3-1 in the series at the time. But they are, so I would say that they are closer to the NBA Finals at this point than they have been in almost 30 years, 27 years. And we're sitting here and we're like, yeah, great job. Nice win. Good, cool, great, good job. Go team. It's like, this isn't, nothing about them winning this game tonight feels crazy. Nothing about this tonight feels like, oh my God, I can't believe they actually got both at home. It's like, no, of course they should get both at home the way they're playing. They're the better team. Now, just got to take it on the road with you, where that will not be an easy game on Saturday. I would wager a lot. Shout out to our friends at FANATICS Sportsbook. I'd be curious what the spread is. I'm actually going to look up right now, if they have it up yet, because I actually think the Cavs will probably be favored by a point. Let me see if it's up. 2.5. Okay. 2.5. Yeah. Okay. That's not crazy. Not crazy at all. Knicks plus 115 to win the game. Okay. See what happens. Thanks, Dennis. Good job by you. Next up. Yeah. Oh, my guy, David Futternick. What's going on? Thank you for the Twitter shout out today. That was very kind of you, and I'm glad you enjoyed the pod with Dex. I never heard anybody say I'm going to Cleveland on vacation because nobody ever has. You go there on business. Time for the Knicks to do just that. You're supposed to savor it. It's important in life. Yeah. Well, we know where that quote comes from. Hashtag heart of the city. I love it. Funny, you're the man, dude. Pretty sure. Well, I don't want to say anything. We may be seeing you. Maybe seeing you in Vegas in July. I'll just say that. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Get this thing done. Go win a game in Cleveland. Business trip. Get at least one. At least one. All right, we do stat of the game. We're doing 2 stats of the game? Okay, great. I love it. First stat of the game. 26, which is points for Josh Hart. Career high in points in a playoff game. 11 attempted threes is 2 more than his previous playoff high, only 1 short of his regular season record. And his 5 made threes are also a playoff high, which is crazy because I would have thought, actually, no, I wouldn't have thought because I know it was 4-4-4 the first 3 games of the Philly series, but he never got to 5 in that Philly series. Interesting. 21 shots for Hart tonight, another playoff high, only 1 shy of his most in a game, and also 7 assists, 1 turnover, tied for his 3rd best ratio in any playoff game. Lots of playoff highs for Josh Hart tonight. I think he's the player of the game, right? Mikal? I don't know. Mikal player of the game, Hart player of the game. Both guys have an argument. And then 3rd, I don't know who's going to be 3rd. Cat has an argument. Brunson has an argument. We'll see. Anyway, great stats from our guy, Jonah Kaufman. And then we got a bonus stat of the game from Jonah Kaufman here. Thank you, intern extraordinaire. Plus 195 is the stat. That is the cumulative plus minus for Jalen Brunson in the playoffs. It is the 2nd highest total through the first 12 playoff games for any player in NBA history, trailing only 2017 Steph freaking Curry, bumping 2017 Draymond to 3rd, 2017 KD to 4th, and 2001 Kobe. Yeah, Kobe Bryant to 5th. Cat is a plus 166, tied for 8th all time. Hart's a plus 140, and Mikal is a plus 133. Unheard of dominance. Unheard of dominance. Mark is asking me if this changes my gauge from before. No, win 2 more games. Win 2 more games. And then we will have some very fun conversations. That's all I'm saying. Go win 2 more games. Great start, though. Stevens Guillaume, what's going on, Stevens? Was ready to strap the rocket on Josh Hart and send him into the sun after those first 3 misses from 3. Shows how much I know. No, don't. Listen, don't beat yourself up. We're all in the same boat. We're all fans. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating when it's like they're doing the thing, and which means you need to do the thing that you need to do sometimes, and you're not doing it. You know, it's like it makes it all seem so simple, but sometimes it is sometimes it's as simple as it's a make or miss league. You know, it was tonight because the run was fueled by his threes. So, not just his threes. The run was fueled by his play, but especially his threes. Thanks, Stevens. Rogue D guy? I don't know. Keeping Josh in Psych Masterclass by Mike Brown. Let's fucking go. Mike Brown, you want to talk about a guy who has his finger on the pulse of this team right now? Mike Brown. Guy knows what he's doing. All the credit in the world. Not honestly, he's not getting enough credit for this playoff run. And I include myself in that. He is not getting enough credit. He has coached the team to 9 straight wins. Everybody, including Josh Hart, is being put in positions to be successful. That is a coach's number one job, I think. Put your talented players in positions to be the best versions of themselves. He's doing that in spades. So, fantastic job, Mike Brown. Oh, man, this is really nice. So Jason Calacanis is if you don't know him, significant figure, presence on in social media. Really generous of you, Jason. Thank you so much here. We're going to the NBA Finals because we're deep, we are healthy, and because we added a couple of offensive looks. It all turned around when we fired Tibbs. Sorry, I had to say it. No, listen. The day Tibbs was fired, I went on here. No, not here. I was in Brooklyn still at the time. I went on and I'm like, I understand the move. I agree with the move. The thing had gotten past the point of being, I don't want to say tenable, but like being something that you just sit back as an organization and you say, this is fine. There were enough red flags. There were enough signs that it was not working as well as you needed it to work. What was frustrating in the aftermath of that news was that we learned, I think, the process was not exactly as we would have liked. It was not exactly as you would want to see from an organization that 100% like had their shit together. So that was an issue for me. And during times when they struggled this year, I was like, well, this is what happens when you fire one coach and you don't really have a great plan for who you want to hire next. And oh, by the way, the Jason Kidd getting fired this week, that whole thing, a year after allegedly, like, oh my God, how dare you, Knicks, for thinking that you could ever pry Jason Kidd away from our organization. That whole thing was a pissing match that the Knicks went into thinking that they were going to win and they didn't win it and whatever. They thought they were getting Jason Kidd as a head coach. They didn't get Jason Kidd as a head coach. They needed to find someone that they liked, and they landed on Mike Brown. I don't think at any point this season I ever gave them enough credit for that hire. I thought, it was a hire that I was always fine with. I thought I said it, after they hired him, like, okay, Mike Brown, like, good mind, clearly took a lot from Golden State. Like, he's good enough to, like, he has experience coaching stars. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's going to treat this as, like, his last probably opportunity in the league. But I did not give the front office a ton of credit for the hire because, frankly, I thought he was, like, the last guy, the guy who was there. Like, after you went through all the other guys that maybe we were interested in them more, like, he was the one that was left, And that was a bad job by me. That was a bad job by me because the front office deserves a ton of credit for hiring a guy that is clearly unafraid. And I mean that in every sense. Unafraid to instill what he wanted to instill, even if it might have ruffled feathers. And like unafraid to be honest, and oftentimes in front of a microphone. And so they really got it right. They really got it right. You can't look at a team that's won 9 playoff games in a row and say they didn't get the hire right. Does it, does it mean Tibbs is a bad coach or Tibbs did a bad job? No, that doesn't mean that. But sometimes you get to a place in your development path as a team where that sort of change is warranted. And I think for the Knicks, the change was warranted and they got it right. So kudos to them. All right. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate you. Greg Film Stuff. What's going on, Greg? Hart needed this. Best part of the night was missing those early threes, not giving up and sticking with it. Love JB's process tonight, picking his spots and orchestrating the offense. This team is really locked in. The rust is off. Well, thanks for the generosity there. Talked about JB's process. Thought it was really good with like one or two exceptions. And then, yeah, I mean, because how many times have we seen Josh start 0 for 2, 0 for 3, 0 for 4, and that's it? He doesn't take the 5th 3 or the 6th 3 or the 7th 3, which is why I loved the stat of the night from our guy, Jonah Kaufman, because 11 threes, that's 2 more than he's ever attempted in a playoff game. That tells you how much he understood the assignment tonight, and stuck with it and had confidence in himself. And oftentimes Josh's lack of confidence in his own abilities is his own worst enemy. And tonight it wasn't. So it's great stuff from him. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you. Patrick Oakley. What do you think the odds are of Bridges getting Eastern Conference Finals MVP over Brunson? He's been absolutely sensational for a month now, and especially this series. I think Brunson should be like a minus 300 favorite, minus 250, something like that. I would put Bridges at like right now. I guess I'd put Bridges second. At what, minus 400? I don't know. Something like that. Or plus 400. Plus 400. I always get those mixed up. Yeah, it's plus. Yeah, plus 400. So, yeah, that's where I'd go. David Sanch, what's going on? I'm sure this team has had better defensive quarters, but I don't remember the rotations being as spot on or as connected as they were in the third quarter. That was championship level ball. Fuck, I'm hyped. I want to go back and rewatch that run, man. I want to go back and rewatch that run and watch the defensive possessions during that run, because I had the exact same impression as you did, David. Watching it in the moment, it felt like it was as good a defense as they're capable of playing. And they keep having these defensive stretches with Jalen Brunson on the court. And that's the most impressive part. And the other part of it that's impressive is so often they are turning defense into offense. Now tonight they only generated 8 turnovers, scored 13 points off those 8 turnovers. That's not a ton. But it felt like the ones that they generated were definitely important. I'm actually just looking right now. Third quarter, so Cleveland scored 8 points. They were 8 of 18 from the field. 3 turnovers. So the Cavs committed 3 turnovers in the quarter, and the Knicks scored 6 points off of those turnovers. So I'm pretty sure they scored on every one of the turnovers. Yeah. Pretty good quarter. 152.4 offensive rating. 100 defensive rating. Yeah, that dog will hunt. Thanks, David. Oscar, what's going on, Oscar? Mikal has always been my guy. Glad we're getting this version. Well, good for you, man. Everybody, all the Mikal stands, to the extent that you're out there, stand up and take a freaking bow. Thanks, Oscar. Hajzu, also, we're due for a Mitch game. The most underwhelmed I was all night, other than Hart missing those first bunch of threes, I did not love Mitch's first half. And it wasn't just because he missed 4 free throws. I thought he was a little slow. I thought there were a couple rebounds he could have had that he didn't get. Yeah, I mean, again, we're picking nits here. They just won a conference finals game by 16 points. But yeah, I think we're getting a Mitch game at some point. And the fact that we haven't had a Mitch game through 2 games of the series and they're 2-0, it's a good sign. Thanks, Hush. Paul McFairline, what's going on, Paul? Josh Hart, all-time bounce-back game. Yes. Also, JB with 1 less assist than the entire Cavs roster. Shit, that is good. I am so jealous. I didn't think of that. Man, I got to write down your name in case I shout that out in the newsletter. Man, that's good. Sorry, had to write that down. I ran a 5K with a Brunson jersey on today and was awesome to acknowledge everyone saying, and it was awesome to acknowledge everyone saying, let's go Knicks. Listen, I'm out here on Long Island where, Knicks are a distant third behind the Mets and probably the Jets, although I don't know. Jets are definitely they're behind the Mets. Maybe the Islanders. Been seeing a lot of Knicks stuff. When I'm out and about, which is cool. Which is very cool. Mark, you're shaking your head. I think you probably the same way. Thanks, Paul. Vince, what's going on, Vince? I know Hart was the MVP of the game. Man, Mikal, right there. But the OG 3 when the lead was 7, bingo, was the most important bucket of the night. Good job by Mike Brown bringing JB back with 10 minutes left. Yeah, you hit on both of those at the top of the show. Couldn't agree more. The OG 3, ginormous. Massive job. Thanks, Vince. Sergio Acosta, 6 more special teams. 6 more special teams don't fumble. 6 more special teams don't fumble. Let's go Knicks by any means. Okay, I got there. David Sanchez with another one. 32 assists on 44 baskets. It's the best stat. Other than the JB Cavs assist stat, this is the best stat of the night. And they say Brunson can't create. He was brilliant. He's been brilliant. Honestly, the whole playoffs. I mean, I know we had some misgivings early on in Atlanta. The dude just does what it takes to win. He's a winner. And he's ours. Thanks, David. Oscar with another one. Thank you, Oscar. Cavs just won the last round down 0-2. Hashtag jobs not finished. Yeah, no, I 100%. They were down 0-2 in the last round. I mean, say this for the Cavs. It looked like when they lost games 3 and 4 in Toronto, they were on the ropes a little bit. The way they lost game 6 in Toronto was really rough. And then last round, they were down 0-2. Not only were they down 0-2, but then they had a chance to close it out at home and put forth one of the most horrific showings from an effort from every standpoint, effort, execution, that I've ever seen from a team with a chance to win a series. And then they came back and they kicked the shit out of the Pistons in their building, in a loud building, in Game 7. So this Cavs team, I just don't think they're going to give up or give in. They didn't give up or give in tonight, and they had every excuse to. Like they were in this thing. So Knicks gotta keep their foot on the gas. Keep their foot on the gas. You have to. You're too close now. You're too close. Thanks, Oscar. Neo Marioism. Should we go to Hack-a-Merrill in Game 3? Oh, man, a lot of Cavs having some issues from the free throw line. Jared Allen. Obviously, Merrill missed. Dennis, oh, my God. The 2 Schroeder misses from the line. Again, you want to talk about momentum. Big. That was only a 10-point game at that point. Schroeder missed both free throws. And right after that, I think, was OG big boying. I forget who he big boyed on the baseline, but he big boyed somewhat on the baseline, and then under the basket, make it 92-80. It was important sequence. Next one is a blast from the past. Oh, I can't wait for this. Is Donovan Mitchell a Knick today? No. So I guess this was my joke, right? Back in 2022, where I said early on in the summer, someone should start a Twitter account that is just like updates us daily. Is Donovan Mitchell a Knick today? And somebody went and did it. And if it's the person I think it is, I've communicated with this person over the since they started the account. I communicate with them on via Twitter DMs. Donovan Mitchell is still not a Knick. We are, among many more important things, we are 2 games away from getting to completely and totally close the book on the conversation about whether or not the Knicks were right to bypass that trade. I understand people are going to hear that. They're going to be like, wait a minute, what book? They closed that book and they fucking burned that book 4 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever, in 2023. I'm not saying it's something that I like sit around and wonder about on, middle of a Tuesday afternoon, but like, I think there was a world entering this series where, depending on how it went, you could have come out of the series being like, you know what? Maybe the Knicks should have made that trade after all. I don't think that we are heading there. I think we are going to be able to close that book once and for all, but get a couple more wins. And Rich, my goodness, another one of these. Tonight's been crazy. Thank you so much, Aunt Rich. Thank you. I've never seen a team speak so glowingly after a historic collapse and a 16-point reality check. Shout out Mike Brown for reading the entire stat sheet, like quarterly earnings. I missed that. I will have to go back and watch that. Wearing my KFS Mitch tee. My KFS Mitch tee is in the wash. I wore it for, what did I wear it for? I wore it for whatever content I was doing the day before the series started. I think I wore it. But I'll have to put it on. Maybe I'll put that on for game 3. Or game 4, because the dunk. No. The Mitch dunk was in game 3, right? Yeah, okay. So maybe I'll wear it for game 3 of the series. Yeah, I mean, as far as the Cavs, like, look, they're not out of the series. They haven't played a home game yet. And I know Andrew always makes fun of me because when I bring up the Riley line, but they haven't played a home game yet. They've done some stuff that has worked. They got their guy Sam Merrill a lot of great looks tonight, and he just missed all of them. Like, I don't think if I was a Cavs fan, I'd be. Listen, I don't think I would have slept the last 2 days after game 1. But for as true as that is, I don't think if I was a Cavs fan, I'd be like, the series is over. If only because we're through 2 games, and I don't think the Knicks have looked great yet. Like, they were good in the second half for sure in this game. And they're not that they were bad in the first half, but like they were brilliant for the 18-0 run. They closed the game brilliantly, but like the Cavs have absolutely done some things more on defense than on offense that have worked against the Knicks. And honestly, they've done some things on offense, not consistently enough, but like the Cavs had a lot of open shots that they missed in this game. So I think the Cavs can credibly go back to the locker room and be like, look, there's stuff we're doing that's working at both ends. Let's keep doing it, and let's trust the process, no pun intended, and let's see where things shake out in Cleveland when we'll have our home crowd behind us and the whole thing. So, we'll see how maybe their talk won't look crazy in 5 days, which is why I'm just going back to what I said before. Just Just win one. Win one in Cleveland, and I will not complain. Thanks, Ant. Drazov. What's going on, Drazov? God bless David Fizdale for sparking my Knicks love. I can't believe what I'm seeing. You started to love the Knicks when they hired David Fizdale? Huh? I mean, that's great. Look, I remember how excited did we get when they hired him, and we were like, oh, this dude's wife is like grinding up on his junk in the club. Remember that picture? You don't remember that picture? Oh, shit. Come on. Mark's looking at me like I have 10 heads. I don't even know what I would Google to find that. I get if anybody out there is watching and can pull that, it's like a tweet or something, and maybe put it. Mark's saying I remember him being boys with LeBron. No. This is much more important. He was in the club, and he's like I don't know if he was like double fisting drinks or whatever, but like his wife, I'm pretty sure it was his wife, was giving him the business. Someone go find that tweet and put that tweet in the chat, because we need to go find that. Thank you, Drazov. Appreciate you. Red Rich. What's going on, Red Rich? John, can you shout out my son, Jasper? Of course I can shout out your son, Jasper. Shout out to you, Jasper. How you doing? He's 11 and a huge Knicks fan. He broke his ankle yesterday. Oh, no. 2 days before his first season playing basketball. Also, what a bounce back from Josh Hart. Yes, bounce back from Josh Hart. But, man, Jasper, I'm so sorry, man. And to break your ankle, perhaps as importantly as before your first season playing basketball, a week from Memorial Day. It's summertime. You don't want to be in a cast or whatever. My advice to you, Jasper, would be while you're laid up, while you're on the shelf, obviously consume a lot of Knicks Film School content. But my daughter's gonna roll her eyes in her sleep because she will somehow hear me saying this. Find a good book. No better time if you're laid up with a broken ankle to find a good book and enjoy a good book. That would be my advice. Shout out to you, Jasper. Thank you, Red Rich. Obozine. What's going on, Obozine? Just want to give a shout out to Mikal. What a run. Let's go Knicks. I would say it's kind of 50-50 tonight between Mikal shout outs and Josh shout outs. Right? I think it's like close. It feels 50-50. Telling you, I'm not 100% on the star of the game. 3-star player. Because Mikal was great the whole night. Josh was great for most of the night. Or half. Danny, I should say, he was good in the first half. He just didn't hit his first bunch of threes. Danny Small, my guy. OKC, San Antonio. Got to get there first. Got to get there. If they get there, will definitely be tough to beat no matter what. But if Hart is hitting threes, the Knicks could beat anyone. Should win this series. # remember the Mike Miller days. The Mike Miller one I'm always going to remember is the Mike Miller with all the fingers. That was a good one. Remember the Mike Miller one with all the fingers, with the hat and the gold chain and those were good times. I mean, look, Hart. If they play either the Spurs or the Thunder, you want to talk about Hart's going to need to shoot it. Oh boy, is he going to need to shoot it? I mean, you see what they're doing with Alex Caruso, and that's the Spurs and the Thunder. Well, they can't really do the same strategy because the freaking Spurs, not quote unquote non-shooters, Steph Castle and Dylan Harper are getting into the fucking lane like I don't even know what. Those guys are just living in the paint because they're really good, So, getting to the rim like Derrick Rose, prime Derrick Rose. But yeah, Josh gonna need to shoot in the next round if they get there. Thanks, Danny. Another one of these. My Lord. Guys, everybody out there, just thank you so much. It's crazy what this thing is, what this has become, and how kind people are. Thank you, man. Everybody out there. This one's from Noah Reaney. I hope I got that right. Noah Reaney, 1280. What a run this is becoming, but as my uncle from the Navy would say, don't give up the ship. I like that. That's really great. Don't give up the ship. Thank you, KFS, for always elevating the fan experience. Hashtag 69 wins. God, it is. Yeah, I'm gonna bring Mark up here. Hey, Mark, hop up here. Yeah, Andrew's here. Andrew's here to relieve you.
I think so. Yes. Yeah.
How crazy is this, man? It's a crazy run for the Knicks, but just like the generosity of folks, you know.
Oh, oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, the generosity tonight has been off the charts. Even the play. I mean, throughout the playoffs, really, it's been really remarkable.
When there are games where they've gotten their ass kicked, and we get some of this stuff, and it's just. But I'm
it's a testament to the community that you guys have built. That we've all built.
You guys,
that we all have built. Sorry, I corrected myself.
I hate when you do that.
I know, and I'm sorry.
I've gotten mad at you for that on multiple occasions.
But yeah, no, it's been really, really something else. And then just in terms of the run, yeah, remarkable. I wanted, the one thing I'll say is, and I know we were just talking about, or you were just talking about the comments being 50-50. I'm going to lend, I mean, I'm always, Josh Hart is my guy, and I'm 100% with you in the whole history of everything. However, a couple rounds ago, you said something along the lines that you've never been more wrong on a player than you were with Cat.
Cat, yeah.
After Cat had such an awesome Atlanta series. If I'm going to, first of all, I appreciate that because I think it shows authenticity, it shows maturity, it shows a person who's self-reflective, and that's what I look for in
Cat's being self-reflective. How about that?
Yeah, yes. The whole team. That's I think those are attributes of the entire Knicks squad. But yeah, that's what I look for in content creators. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna follow suit because I don't think I've ever been as wrong as I was on a guy. I completely lost faith in Mikal Bridges.
You're not the only one.
And this run, I mean, Mike Breen said it on the broadcast tonight. The guy is on a heater over the past number of games.
I'll pull it up right now.
He has proven his worth. And I know you mentioned it before. We're extremely close in putting that 5 picks argument to bed. And I cannot wait for that. I can't wait for that because the guy has had that albatross around his neck since he's been traded, and it wasn't his fault. It was never his fault.
No, he didn't ask.
Didn't ask for it. And now, you know, he's done everything he could do to prove that argument wrong. And we'll all be, including myself, the beneficiaries of him proving us wrong.
Mark, Mikal Bridges or Kevin Durant all time?
So, great question. Last 7
a while ago, I was going to ask John if the best version of Mikal is like a what's the phrase? It's like a lesser version of Kevin Durant.
Well, I mean, this Mikal Bridges isn't missing, so I don't know. Like,
yeah, I know.
When I say missing, I don't mean like the way he was missing at the when he would disappear in games. Right now, he's just not missing shots. Like every shot he takes is going in right now. So I guess that's like a version of Kevin Durant. Yeah,
he's the last 7 games in terms of like what he has meant to the team and his role on the team. This is going to sound silly because he does this. A very different player played a very different position, but like it's like Derek Fisher on the prime Lakers championship teams, where it's like there's no question that Derek Fisher was not one of the best players on the team, but he would be out there and he would be doing quite literally everything you needed him to do at both ends of the floor. And you're like, where would they be without this guy? Need a big shot, he's got your back. Like he makes everybody around him better. He fills in all the gaps, the whole thing. In regards to Mikal Bridges on a heater, last 7 games, 18.7 points, so a shade under 20. 68% from the field.
Yeah, it's the percentage. That's just
he doesn't miss.
68.
He doesn't miss.
50% from 3. He has not missed a free throw. He's actually taken 8 or 9.
Wow.
And like 1.4 steals a game.
Yeah, and that's the other side of things. I mean, his defense has been noticeably better, just better than it had all year long. Get it, the guy's he's proving his worth.
It's truly wild. I'm looking at the guys who are averaging more points over their last 7 games, and there is one other player even shooting 60% from the field. Do you want to guess who that player is?
Shooting what from the field?
I said Mikal's shooting 68% from the field. That's 31st in the league over, I put in the last 7 games. You can sort on NBAstats.com. Of the 30 players ahead of him, only one other player is averaging at least over 60% from the field. It is not SGA.
Is it based off of attempts, or is it just anybody averaging 60%?
No, it's the 30 players who are averaging more points. I should have said that. Averaging more points than Mikal Bridges over the last 7 games. That's what I should have said.
Oh. So there's only... Okay, now I'm confused about the question.
Mikal Bridges over his last 7 games is shooting 68% from the field. He is also 31st in the league in scoring average over his last 7 games.
Okay.
There is only one player among the 30 players who are averaging more points than him that is also shooting at least 60% from the field.
Okay. I'm gonna go process. Oh, is it? It's not OG Anunoby.
It is OG Anunoby.
Okay. That's what I thought it might be.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wingstop.
Shout out to Wingstop.
Credit to Leon Rose.
I know we're 2.5 hours into this, and like this is the line change. This is also the first time John and I have been on camera with you, where we get to publicly just commend you on your Game 1 recap montage piece that you put together. It was brilliant. The Knicks Film School faculty loved it. Knicks Film School audience loved it. And thank you. Just bravo. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, watch Mark's 10-minute recap of retelling, I should say, of the Game 1 win, first round series win over the Atlanta Hawks. It's pinned as our premiere video on our channel. So check that out on the Knicks YouTube channel. Bravo, Mark. Bravo.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it, guys. And it's always a pleasure to be able to put things like that together. You guys make it's strange because as an editor, it's harder when you have more good stuff to work with because you have to leave a lot on the cutting room floor that otherwise you wouldn't have. But yeah, you guys give me so much to work with. And yeah, it was awesome to see the response. And thank you. I am beginning to work on one for the second round. I'm slow at this because of work and kids and family and life.
Yeah. But look, thankfully the Knicks are going to give you another quick series. So you got a bunch of extra days off.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully. Yeah.
And then after they make quick work in the finals, then you have all off season.
Oh wow!
I just realized we only have 6 more Knicks games.
You're really trying to hurt John.
I very much am trying to get under.
I'm scrolling Twitter right now.
He's not paying attention anymore.
Yeah,
all right, thank you guys.
Later, Mark.
Great rest of the show. Thanks, KFS audience, too. Appreciate the
Later.
generosity.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay.
Now you're mine. Let's do this.
Johnny Chiba, let's get it. New York Knicks, rusty after layoff, will hit stride in finals. I hope so. That would be great. Let's giddy up. Vaz Callow had someone at the bar tell me advanced analytics hate Josh Hart, and I said, just watch the game. Glad I was right. Bring out the brooms. Hashtag 6 to go. I'm going to bite my fucking tongue. It's what time is it? It's 1:19 a.m. Yeah.
We do know that like hitting a lot of threes is good analytics, right?
It's also just not true. There are lots of analytics that love Josh Hart.
But the impact metrics don't. That's really where it comes down to. But
no, some of them do. Depends
Which
what
one?
impact metrics you want to look at.
Which one? The all-in-one encompassing ones like hate Josh Hart because
Go
okay,
look
this
at-
year they did because he hit his threes.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's like when you hit threes, that's analytics right there. It's having impact, having gravity. But that's why I think tonight was cool, where it was like the Cavs were playing the data game, and Josh Hart broke that and was like, okay, you can't play that way, and now, like, you really don't have a way to beat us then. That's why tonight was cool.
Two of the three most successful coaches of the last 25 years of NBA basketball, Eric Spoelstra and Steve Kerr, both told you in no uncertain terms when they were coaching on the greatest stage of their lives, told you with their actions and their words, Josh Hart is a guy you put on the floor. You know?
Greatest stage of their lives. FIBA?
Oh, whatever. Fucking.
There wasn't even the Olympics, and they lost. What are you talking about?
On a big
you have so
stage.
many better points. That's all I'm saying. You have so many better, like Tibbs, one of the best, most successful coaches in Knicks history.
No,
like,
that's
he also
but that's-
overexposed him. But
No,
it's also a
but
different
that's
conversation.
also that I'm not gonna go down that road. But like Spo and Kerr, like all you need to know is they both fucking love the guy, and they both wanted to put him out there as much as they could. Like
And
that's
they
not
lost.
what
And they lost.
they did lose. It wasn't because of him.
But like they had all-stars on the floor.
There was a
at
lot of
options.
reasons that. Listen, we're not going.
Yeah,
down the road
but
of
John,
why
like
that team
I'm
lost.
just saying, you have like Josh Hart was.
Oh
like,
no, but to me, no.
Spo and Steve Kerr liked them, and it's
Because
they
to
ended up
me,
losing anyway.
Because every NBA coach, doesn't matter how analytically leaning they are, no NBA coach is all about the analytics. No, because they wouldn't have a job. It's always a balance. It's always you use it as a tool. Now, some have treated it as a bigger tool in their tool chest than others, but it's always
Hi, Joe.
a what?
Hi, Joe.
Yeah, there you go. And even you know, Joe, I would bet you anything that if Josh Hart was on the Boston Celtics, he'd be playing a fuck ton of minutes.
He's taking 11 threes a game, that's for sure.
You know, so and that's why I love Josh's quote tonight about the analytics. It's my favorite quote of the season. I absolutely love it.
No surprise. He also won tonight by heavy analytics. That's why it's very funny. It's why it's very funny, John.
Thanks, Fast.
Hold on, I'll get off the screen.
Matty Heads, what's going on? Thanks for the generosity, Matty. Bone. Cleveland. Oh,
Boom, 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 boom.
I got it.
Cleveland, what you gonna do when Josh Hart's hitting threes? That's what Matty Heads is trying to do.
We got there. I love that.
Judgment comes for you. What you gonna do? There ain't nowhere to run. I have that ready for game 3, or whenever they win a third game, I should say. When they win the third game.
Get another win. Another one from Matty Heads. Josh Hart of the city. Mikal said, fuck them picks forever. Knicks in 4 till it's not. See you all at Penn 6 for game 3. I was not going to sing that.
Well, this wasn't a song. This is just him saying Josh is the heart of the city. Mikal said,
I thought it was like a play on different lyrics. Oh yeah, watch party, Penn 6, Game 3
with John's
with all the
yes, with all the
ladies. Thanks,
we're,
Maddie.
we're thinking about the same text right now.
Dan Hidalgo. Jesus Christ. We should maybe he'll be there. Tuning in late. Plus 212 point differential on 9-game streak. Largest in NBA history. Let's fucking go Knicks. What a time to be alive. Yes. Get 2 more wins, please. That's all I ask. Get 2 more wins. Get into the big dance. Thanks, Dan. War Angel, thank you for the contribution here. The way JB makes shots is so mesmerizing. The angles, the footwork, on and on. If he was SGA's height, is he the best player in the world? The pound for pound champ. What's SGA? 6'6"? Or whereabouts? I mean, I know Brunson's listed at 6'2". He ain't no fucking 6'2".
6'6".
6'6". Is he? Wow, Brunson's the best player in the world. So the funny thing about Brunson is like his build, like the fact that he is, I don't know how to say this, short and kind of stocky. He has figured out how to use that to his benefit. If he was just taller, I actually wonder how. I mean, yeah, I think he'd be better, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind getting some extra inches. But I don't know, man. He's mastered his craft at his height. I imagine it would take him a little while to get adjusted. As would any person who grew 6 inches overnight or whatever. Sure, maybe it's possible. Interesting question. Thanks, War Angel. Ryan from Australia. Thank you for the generosity, Ryan. And thanks for watching from halfway around the world. Came from Australia for last year's Eastern Conference Finals. The combo of jet lag and the Halliburton shot made me think I'd had a stroke. I wasn't jet lagged, and I thought I had a stroke. Not only have we avenged that game, but we're up 2-0 after being down 0-2 last year. We'll be coming back this year for the finals. Can't wait. Ryan, part of me wants to be like, maybe stay in Australia, given that when you came here last year, they had the most devastating loss of my adult life. But look, the way this team is playing right now, I think if they get there, you probably book your ticket. Thanks, Ryan. Another one from Ryan. Keep up the great work, guys. We try. Keeping up with KFS has been one of the best additions to my daily listening and Knicks fandom. Thanks for all of the work you do. Man, that is so kind. And the generosity again tonight is just off the charts, both in contributions, just some of the stuff that people have said. We are collectively pigs and shit. Really, we're all here because we love the Knicks. There's nobody here that doesn't love the Knicks. So this basketball team is doing great, and we get to make content about the team that makes people smile. It's like I could not imagine anything better. Truly could not imagine anything better as a in terms of a professional capacity, or it's crazy, and we owe you guys, so thank you so much. Adam Austin, what's going on, Adam? Been wearing that same NBA Jams shirt since the start of this 9-0 run. Not superstitious by nature, but if it brings us a chip, I'll frame it and never wash it again. Do you mean this one? The one that I'm wearing tonight? The Jalen and Josh? Yeah. So I like this shirt. I don't know where I got this. Someone gave this to me as a present. I think I got this for Christmas, actually. I think my in-laws gave this to me. I have this one, and I have the Ewing Starks. I don't know what I'm going to wear for game 3. I got to think about that. Riyadh, serious question. Does Tibbs win these 2 games? Man. I mean, my honest reaction is don't know, don't care. Like, it's really nice that we've been able to like turn the page fully. I don't know. Maybe not.
Tonight, yes. Game 1, no.
That's probably fair.
Yeah. Tonight, yes. There were a lot of Tibbs principles. There's just like flat out a lot of Tibbs principles in their defense. And Josh Hart played a lot and was an instrumental part of the Knicks win tonight. You know what Tom Thibodeau loved a lot when the New York Knicks were his team? Josh Hart.
The reason why I'm like, I don't know and I don't care is because put aside the specific games, what the Knicks have become, they would not be this
right
under Tom Thibodeau.
Correct.
That's the key part. You know,
I'm just trying to answer Riyad's question. In a
no,
vacuum.
I understand
That's
that,
all.
but like,
I'm trying to do it in a vacuum. The Tibbs, Sean and I talked about this. I forget on whether it was a watch along or whether you were. I forget where it was, but like, it's not. The Knicks could have gotten back to the conference finals this year. They would not have the second highest point differential in NBA history if he was still coach. That would be my thought.
Look, I mean, was there a world where they lost last night and like, let's say they, lost this series in similar fashion to how they lost last year's series? And I guess in theory we'd be having some conversations about, whoa, they right the fire. The way they've been playing and the revolutionary nature of the offense and honestly how great they've been on their defense has been better than it ever was under Tibbs.
Yeah.
But I mean, since like 2000, whatever, the We Hear season. And even honestly, this is better.
Yeah.
This defense is better. It's the best defense better defense I've ever played under Tibbs. And the offense is, I don't know how to tell people about the difference in the offense. Like,
yeah.
The conversation is done.
Look, I'll use one of your phrases, the truth serum conversation. And you spoke a lot about this during the regular season, but if we're all taking truth serum, that Boston series win was aided by what they went 20 for 100 in the first 2 games from 3.
Boston lost it 42%. The Knicks won it 58%.
But like it required Boston to go 20 for whatever it was, 20 for 100 in the first 2 games from 3 and blow 2 20-point leads, right? There is some flukishness to them. Did the Knicks have to do some things to cause the losses to happen? Yes, of course. But if we're all taking this with truth serum, like we were all preparing for a quick series. And then the Knicks won, and they got to the conference finals. I'm not taking anything away from them. But to now see what they're doing this year with largely the same roster, like Jordan Clarkson, and that's it. Is the
hold on. I think your better point, that's a good point. I think the better point is a lot of the 20-point comeback wins were attributed to, that's a Tibbs team. Never say die, yada, yada, yada. Guess what they did 2 days ago? Now, you could tell me Tibbs helped institute some of those qualities, and he does get some credit. But, like, this is who this team is.
Yeah. It's very much, though, that – and this is where I want to give Tibbs credit in the – like, that is a Tibbs team. Like, they keep fighting and all that. The way they came back in game 1, which was always some of the frustration, which goes to the Josh Hart conversation, and it's quite simply – if Josh doesn't have it, you can go to someone else. And it's why when Mike Brown did it with during the Rockets comeback and sat Josh, when they tried to come back against the Lakers without Josh, when they came back on Christmas without Josh. No, those are just things that never happened under Tibbs, because if they were going to come back, it was going to be with Josh Hart on the floor. And they did a lot, but that pivot was never an option. And
it goes
now
beyond
it is.
Josh Hart. It goes beyond Josh Hart. It goes back to when, I don't have to remind you, the 2021-22 season, which was politely the definition of insanity season.
Oh yeah.
There were many instances over the 5 years where it was like, this seems insane. There must be something I am missing. And we weren't missing anything. It's because I'm going to have to get into it, but he had a certain philosophy in terms of when you change things and what he needed to see before you change things. How many definition of insanity moments have we had from Mike Brown this entire year?
It's really 2, and they happened in back-to-back games. And it was deciding that playing without Jalen Brunson, and which is honestly like I'm at the point where I think it had to happen so we could have the last 9 games we've had.
I don't know.
But I'm also, I gotta be honest, I've thought about how like the Knicks are 2 points away from being 12-0 this postseason. Everything happens for a reason in a certain order, but like I've thought about that. That's the margin between a 12-0 start to the postseason and instead 10-2. But if anything, it actually adds to the lore because now they're entering certain tiers because it's a 12-game stretch that they have this point differential.
Get 2 more. Mm-hmm. Carl Ruckus, John, the other night you called the team special, and I agree. But where was the inflection points where the team went from broken or frustrating or disappointing to special? Good question. I think it started to change in the last week of the season. For me. I think it started to change in the last week of the regular season. I think for me, I was definitely, I think the Hornets and the Rockets losses, were they back to back?
Yep. Yeah. No, they weren't. It went Hornets, OKC, Houston.
Oh, that's right. Look at you.
Yeah, they lost the primetime game against OKC.
And after that Houston game, and they got their fucking doors blown off by the Rockets. I was like, yeah, it's not the year. And then they won 5 games in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they lost the meaningless last game of the season. And they really started to put some stuff together. Started the first 2 was Memphis and Chicago, so those were like, okay, those teams suck. But then there was that Hawks game, and that was like, oh, they really played well in that Hawks. Like that was everybody said it in the moment. It was like, that was like, oh, okay, this is real. And then it was the Boston game with Tatum, and they took care of business against Boston. And then the Toronto game where I think they clinched. Didn't they clinch something against Toronto?
They clinched the 3 seed for good. Yeah,
they clinched 3 seed for good, and that game wasn't close. You know, that game was like a resounding win. And so for me, and again, I think I was paying very careful attention to the different quotes and things that were coming out. And I've said it 5 different times on this playoff run. I keep going back to when Towns was like, yeah, we've had some great conversations, you know, Towns says shit, you know, he does not have a filter. And if he's saying that, I think I take him at his word that like, A, he had them, and B, that they actually mattered. So that's for me when things really changed. But I don't know. Thanks, Carl. Dan Hidalgo, if the Knicks sweep the Cavs, let's see, they will, until further notice, have earned the nickname the Eastern Conference co-favorite Cavaliers. Will, until further notice, have earned the nickname the Eastern Conference co-favorite Cavaliers. What am I missing?
I don't know. Dan, in the chat, if you can clarify, because I'm missing it too. If the Knicks,
I'm assuming this is a reference to like the fact that the Knicks were co-favorites with the Cavs before the season.
Right, before the season.
Yeah.
Have earned the nickname. Okay. Yeah, Dan, clarify in the chat. We're missing something here. Thank you, though.
S. Ben, Kendrick Lamar voice. They not like us. Let's fucking go next. Yes. Kevin Danishevsky. Hate to complain. Kevin, who are you bullshitting? You love to complain. But I hate the way Zach Zarber refs our games. The fact that he was voted the number 1 referee is a freaking travesty. 32-12 to free throws. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was the best ref game.
And yet, I still survived it. So Dan is saying that's what pundits were calling them.
Oh, yeah.
They were the co-favorites.
Yes, that's true.
So if the Knicks sweep the Cavs, they will have earned that they were the co-favorite. I still don't personally get it, but I
think we got the gist.
That's what. Yes, the co-favorites.
Cavs should be referred to as Eastern Conference co-favorites.
The Cavs, maybe that's what he's saying. The Cavs should be referred to as the. Well, I'll see myself out. Go Bills.
Funny with another one. I loved Max Strus back when he went by his given name, Lou Amundsen. It's good. Thanks, funny. Lou Amundsen. Danny Small, take care of the ball. 6 turnovers. Important.
How about that?
The Knicks only had 6 turnovers tonight?
6 turnovers tonight. Took care of the ball really well.
I have it at 8. I think there were 2 team turnovers.
Yeah, 2 team. Yeah.
Okay. Still, it's good.
2 more.
Daniel, who? OKC Spurs in the finals when the Knicks lose, trade for LeBron.
You talking about OKC? Or the Spurs? Oh, you said if the Knicks lose. So
no, it's
I was making a joke that if OKC or when OKC or the Spurs lose, they should trade for LeBron. Also, hate to tell you this, Daniel, LeBron's a free agent, so you could sign him.
I also hate to tell Daniel that I'm not going to get the cap stuff right now.
Well, he would have to take like the taxpayer mid-level, which
yes, and if he took the taxpayer mid-level, that would cap the Knicks at the second apron,
which means bye-bye Mitchell Robinson.
Which means in all likelihood bye-bye Mitchell Robinson. Yes.
Yeah. So who do you want, LeBron James or Mitchell Robinson next year, Daniel? Those are the hard-hitting questions you get at 1:41 in the morning.
I got to tell you,
center LeBron James?
I don't think there is any universe where LeBron comes here this summer. I just don't see it.
Oh, me neither. That ship sailed. No disrespect to Ian O'Connor. That ship sailed. That he's going to the Cleveland Cavaliers next year.
Oh, I think he's going to Golden State.
See, he's entirely too interested in legacy and image to then go play for Steph's team, in my opinion. I think he'll go play one more.
Dwayne Wade's team.
That was, and where did he end up going back to? He was 25, impressionable, and Pat Riley threw rings on his table and said, "You need one of these." Went and got.
And he went and played for Kobe's team.
So Kobe wasn't there though. Like, he went to go be the next great Laker and won a title and made them trade all these number 2 picks that they had for Anthony Davis.
All right, so he's going to go play for Donovan Mitchell's team?
So, hear me out. It becomes LeBron's team again. It's Cleveland.
No, I don't think so.
I'm telling. I've talked to the Chase Down. They're like in on let's have LeBron's farewell tour. Like that's what it becomes. It becomes Donovan Mitchell's team, but it's also like LeBron's farewell tour is what we're also getting to, and maybe he goes out with a ring is what they'll be sold on.
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to talk about, the narrative of it. If LeBron's final year is another finals attempt with the team that he started it with, that's the thing that could work for LeBron. And that's why I don't think it'll be Golden State, because
maybe
it would be against legacy. Now, maybe he just wants to go. I mean, there's a weird Kevin Durant thing going on out there, so maybe he just wants to go back to Golden State and they'll just replay the Olympics team. But we'll see.
Thanks, Daniel. And then Matomo.
2 more came in, by the way.
Shout out to my girl, Allison. Shout out to Allison. Enjoying her first playoffs. She just mentioned it's crazy. Our 2 losses have been by 1 point each, and then 9 of 10 wins by double digits. What was the one single-digit win? Game 2 versus Philly.
You got it. Won by 6.
There you go. Pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
And
Tell her
219
this is
plus 219 in wins.
Yeah. Tell her this is not how things normally go in the playoffs, and also tell her she is not allowed to stop watching.
Bingo.
El Coriano, favorite team yet?
Favorite playoff run?
Yeah, that's not the question though.
Yeah.
Man. It's weird because this is all happening so suddenly. You know? Man, what they did 2 nights ago went a long way.
Yours is still 24, right?
Post
January, post Randall and post Randall injury. The tryhards.
The question gets at the core of what do I appreciate most about it.
Effort. It was Jalen Brunson and a bunch of Josh Harts, which is like what you wanted, you know?
No.
Like guys that give 100 no matter what.
Yeah. But this team's giving 100.
Yes.
So it's not an effort thing. It's about the honest response, El Coriano, is like at this point, I think they might be too good to be my favorite team. It doesn't make any sense.
You need a 20-17 team that's starting Precious Achiuwa for most of the stretch.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. I don't know. I need to sit with that one for a while, and probably have some time and space.
I think they're 2 wins away from being mine if the question's directed at me at all. They'll surpass 99 for me.
I am AK Legend. What's going on? It's almost 10 here in Alaska. Go to bed, bro. Seriously. Thanks for all you guys do. Let's go Knicks. Also, just cause fuck Embiid. Always fuck Embiid. Yeah, it looks like it is 1:45 in the morning. We're done?
We are done.
Well, this is quite a night.
Has it hit you yet?
That they're up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals?
And very much in the driver's seat.
Yeah. I mean, because they've been playing well and they should be up 2-0. And now I'm getting greedy. Now I want to win one in Cleveland. Just one. I'll take one. Sign for one. Show me where I sign for one. Happily sign for it. And because I just want to get to the finals. Really just want to get to the finals.
If they clinch at home on Wednesday, and then we have 5 days just like to celebrate the Knicks with nothing in New York City. Good luck, Mom Donnie. Goodness. What's up?
No, you say so. Wait,
they clinch Wednesday. We're talking. Well, so they have a full week
Wednesday,
before the finals. I'm more just talking about what the weekend will look like.
The final starts on June 3rd.
Yes, the
so they would have
Wednesday.
They would have
a full week off. Yes, but I'm specifically talking about like New York City on Thursday, New York City on Friday, New York City Saturday and Sunday. We'll just be celebrating the Knicks, and then Monday or Tuesday they'll probably head out to wherever the finals is.
Look,
Texas or Oklahoma.
Go win a game in Cleveland and then take care of business. So, let's hope they do it. Thank you everybody for checking out another edition of the Knicks Film School Postgame Show presented by FANATICS Sportsbook. We really just one more time, I cannot emphasize enough the generosity for so many people. And look, if you're I've never sent in a super chat in your life and you're watching us or you're listening to us, we appreciate you as well because it allows us to do what we do. So thanks so much. On behalf of Mark, Andrew, Sean popped on the watch along. I will be back tomorrow at what we say?
1:00.
1 o'clock.
Is the hangover?
I hope I didn't double book myself with the putback.
What time's the putback? Let's check this now.
Hang on. This is scintillating for everybody watching, I'm sure.
People got to this point in the pod. They're probably interested.
I figure we aim for.
John is checking his email.
Text. Figure we aim for 11:30 to 12. I don't even know if I'm doing this yet. So, but it's apparently the target for tomorrow is 11:30, 12. So
okay. So tune into SNY / the Knicks Film School YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, because we're a
simulcast tomorrow.
If it happens, I don't know if Ian may not. It may not happen. So.
Okay. Well, potentially, if you're watching, tune into that tomorrow. If you're listening, it probably is happening right now. So turn it on now.
And then I was gonna say after school, and then playoff hangover with me, Jeff, and Sean.
We gotta get you to bed.
Oh, yeah, right. Newsletter.
But so let's start now.
Let's start now. Okay, everybody. We'll see you later. What?
It's a Knicks in 4.
Knicks in 4. Just win. Just win 2 more games.
Win 2 more.
Bye.
4.
Bye.